Well, that took 2 weeks to do, but who cares? So anyway, I assume I don't have to go through the whole propaganda of what Warhammer 40k is. I assumed you're all educated gentlemen in the at least basics of what 40k is. You know the whole mankind is beset by enemies on all sides and all that.
Yep.
Yep.
The
Okay,
whole
good.
thing is pretty much going to hell in a handbasket.
It's basically war never change. That's Fallout. But yeah. So
Same thing. Just in
war is
space.
happening everywhere except for a couple of subsectors where humanity is living in a sort of state of everything's fine, but my neighbor might shoot me. So,
So,
especially with where you're going. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
so no more Americans then that live in America.
No, you now live in universe UK, China, Russia.
Oh.
Yeah. Americans live in one of two places. They're either middle class people or some regiments of guardsmen. I don't really know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You all can speak in whatever accent you choose. Just try not to be. I was going to say try not to be racy, but I get the feeling we're all mature enough to not go out and start talking in extremely racist accent. But anyway,
I know about that, laddie.
you see that's not racist because none of us are Scottish, and
I'm part Scottish.
You speak for yourself, lad.
being part Scottish and being full
Also, let
Scottish.
me get the Scotsman's insult up.
Oh God, no, please.
But yeah, remember the banner description for 40k is in the grim dark future of the 41st millennia, there is only war.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only there was only turtles.
What do you think of that, Mr. Fucking hell, Facebook comment. What do you think of that, Mr. Pajama wearing basket case, slipper wielding, Clyde deep blatchel, developing Blackmore blithering Gomeril Jesse off looking scurrin yaff fluky shan milk drinking, slyfish shield pit mimmuth snivelling wormite, wow vile stoogie killing black tatty.
So that's where he got the insult from. Anyway.
I
Oh my
understood
god, that
milk.
was glorious.
And I understood
Milk
fish.
drinker? You called me a man? No, anyway. So we're 10 minutes
What's
over
the
the game
matter? Can't
starting.
stand the sight of the strong old woman.
Yeah. We're 10 minutes over the game starting and I haven't even begun to even start this shit really, but yeah. So,
Go.
wow. The five of you don't know what the hell you did to get recruited. Well, some of you might know, with the exception of a certain mind-cleansed individual. But, yeah, you were all pretty much picked up a matter of days ago. So, whatever you did to join the Inquisition happened probably about 3 or 4 days ago for most of you. And then
You
you've
could
all
have
been
told me this maybe a week ago when I said that my guy's been in the Inquisitor's Employ for about 10 years, but hasn't had the opportunity to advance.
I know, whilst I was taking a shit, I had thought about your character. Effectively, your character may or may not have been frozen. Not frozen, in the warp. So, 10 years in the warp is about, what, like a
Okay.
month?
I can do
Yeah.
that.
You're the most qualified and trained out of everyone here, but that doesn't make you anything more than them.
Yeah, I haven't actually had any field experience. I've just been administering to the various acolytes on the ship for 10 years.
Yeah, if you're effectively stress management for the Inquisition, and then they decided, hey, we're running low on acolytes, we kind of need to throw some more people out there, so you'll do, I guess.
Well, we
Your
had this-
Inquisitor is not a nice man. But yeah. If that's okay with you, then that's the arc I had thought about. I'd taken that into consideration.
Very well.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
Okay, so out of everyone, Arias, you're probably the most used to seeing the other acolytes, as you probably witnessed them getting brought on board of this fairly large black ship that you've spent the majority of your time on. Although, effectively one day was more or less doomsday for some who don't like field work, which should be none of them, heretics. Servo Skull came up to you, dropped off a data slate, and said, "Come to Hangar Bay B26 Alpha Omicron 17D, and await further instructions." And from what you've gathered from other acolytes, or people have been turned into acolytes that have served on the ship, this usually means, yeah, it's your time to actually get off your ass and do something productive. So, your character can feel either extremely betrayed or extremely honoured. It depends. It varies from person to person.
Ares will beam in pride as he gathers up his flak vest and old good auto pistol with the eye of the ecclesiarchy on each grip. Gear up.
Yeah, you're grabbing all your stuff. So as you're gathering up all your gear, a lot of the crew seem as though they're going to... They're almost giving off a sort of a pitying look towards you, but also some are giving off that, yeah, you go get them. Yeah, teach those heretics a lesson, and all that. They're trying to be bravado, but in their minds they're thinking, thank God it's not me. So you look at them and you're like, yeah, I can tell you're extremely happy that it's me, not you, but yeah, whatever.
It's like trying to cheer the guys going on a suicide mission.
Basically, it's when you're walking down a corridor and you see someone doing a punishment duty in the military, and you're like, oh, I feel sorry for you, but I can't help but laugh. None of you get that reference. It's fine. Anyway,
My children, my flock. It's fine. I will return you.
yeah, most of your flock give you a pat on the back, and some of them are even like, yeah, I bet you'll come back to us, hopefully in one piece. And they're like joking around. They're the people who were raised up in the underhives, so you can understand. You can almost relate to some of them, maybe.
Yeah, I'm a middle hiver. They're filthy fucking scum.
Yeah, you're trying to give them a false sense of hope. I mean, they're good kids, but half of them were in a hive gang. Their life expectancy is to be about their mid-20s. But yeah, as you're getting on board this very, very, oh, my English is going to fail me today. I can already tell. It's a smaller craft than a massive black ship, obviously, as you're basically being shuffled on board of an Imperial Aquila lander. So it's a lot less luxurious than the Inquisitorial black ship you've been on. And yeah, effectively it seems like you're the first one to get on the ship, so you can go and sit wherever you want. Probably in the most holiest of places. Wherever you choose to sit, that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to make you say, like, oh, I sit in row 27, seat 6. But yeah, the ship then takes off and begins to fly somewhere. You don't really know where. And as you feel the ship land, you don't feel your like harness begin to raise to like let you off or anything. It seems they're picking someone up rather than dropping you off. And in walks next on the list. So, yeah, Ewan, why don't you describe your character to Josh, and then Josh will describe his back to you.
Yeah, about 1 3/4 meters tall, bronze, grey hair, grey white, with a sword over his shoulder. And that's his main weapon. There's not much other weapons you see on him.
Does he have any other weapons, or is it just the sword?
He's got a few knives and a small crossbow pistol. But that's it.
Probably wearing the iconic black body glove, or at least the armored version.
Yes.
The black condom.
Yeah.
Would
His
I
one has
recognize
extra
this guy as a Death Cult assassin?
You
I've got
would know...
more Imperial Creed, and like Death Cults are part of the Imperial Creed, although...
Yeah, and you've served on a black ship, so you've seen other Death Cult assassins come by, probably to get their last Imperial mandate from you before they go off on their missions. So yeah, you don't recognize which Death Cult, but you certainly recognize him as a Death Cultist, if that makes sense to you. Like, there's so many that it's just...
There's an old man in front of... This is Drake Lupus, isn't it?
Yep.
The old man in front of Drake is dressed in crimson robes, flowing out of a olive green flak vest. It's completely covered in minuscule litanies of protection and hatred that Arius penned himself. Also on his right hip is a very nice-looking auto pistol. It's got some gold filigree on it, and the gripper is emblazoned with the eye symbol of the ecclesiarchy. And he's got a hammer on the left side of his hip. It's not very nice looking. It's obviously a brutal instrument. Arius has grey hair, although his face looks rather young, and he's got some stubble, and obviously hasn't shaven in a while. He makes the sign of the Aquila. The new member of the... the new member of the team is to be a death cult assassin. I look forward to working with a man of your talents.
Yes, serving the Emperor is what we should all do. Make sure that you do it with us.
You would question a man of the ecclesiarchy on his loyalty to the Emperor. You may want to rephrase that statement, Mr. Assassin. Or do you have a name I could call you by?
I am Drake.
Arius Gallustian, although you may call me Father. Father Gallustian would also work.
Right. There is nothing disloyal in doubt. Overconfidence is the most disloyalty.
Oh, on the contrary. The fifth edict of the Imperial Cult states that you must unquestionably obey and never doubt the authority of the Imperial government on one's superiors. Keep this in mind. I do hope that we can have an amiable working relationship, my child. Take a seat, we have more to pick up.
We shall see how we work together. I'll take a seat a bit behind him.
Fair enough. Right. So, with a gentle hum of the engines starting back up, and it's probably not that gentle, and with a rough takeoff, the ship seems to be leaving the space station, as Drake would be aware of. The Imperial space station you were on, Drake, is an Inquisitorial-owned one. You were transferred here about 2 days ago, and you've been living fairly uncomfortably within its lower decks. The other members of the crew find you creepy, and they typically did not like hanging around you. So you've pretty much, considering how no one wants to talk to you, and you're probably someone who doesn't like talking to very many people, it was probably a fairly good 2 days of not saying a word to a single person until someone came along and said, "Hey, there's a shuttle waiting for you. You need to get going." So it's probably the first social interaction you've had with someone for a while. That wasn't thanks for the food or something like that. It depends on your character's personality, naturally. But yeah, the shuttle then seems to exit this Imperial spaceport and move on to a slightly different one. By the time the ship lands and the ramp opens up once more, we see what the two of you would only recognize as a tech priest and an arbitrator walking up towards walking up the ramp and taking their seats. So, yeah. Amber and Radius, do you want to describe yourselves? Dylan, if it's harder for you because you can't control your character sheet, by all means let me know and I'll read out what's on your character sheet. Like height and build and all that.
Nah, it should be good.
Alright. Yeah, take it away, guys.
Do you want to go first or should I?
You can.
Okay, so you see a 6'2", red robe hooded figure. His robes are much like a trench coat with a hood on it, but his sleeves are a little bit longer than a long t-shirt sleeve. His coat's open in the front. You can see a pistol harness strapped across his pants belt. He's got leather doubloons that he's wearing and standard steel-toed work boots on. He's carrying with him a steel staff, and he has a las carbine on a sling over his shoulder. He's fervently reading from a data slate as if he's forgotten something, not looking where he's going.
Okay.
You can't quite see his face from under his hood. You can see his ventilator peeking out, though. Kind of looks like Darth Vader's down the middle with two painter-style gas chamber capsules at the side, left and right.
That's it?
Yeah, that's what
Basically, a very a tall, creepy-looking motherfucker who's definitely a tech priest walks in.
Yeah.
Okay. Next thing you see a odd mix of colors for Arbide, of female Arbide with light brown skin, long red hair, wearing standard Arbide, somewhat new recruit style armor. On her belt is a club, combat knife. She's wearing her brass knuckles in her left hand and have her shotgun resting on her shoulder with her right. Doesn't really seem to care about. She looks at the others, says nothing, and goes takes a seat. About 5'9" in height, in her mid-20s. I'm done.
Seems you've got the antisocial members to deal with now.
Yeah, I also walk on board and take a seat as far away from everyone else as I can get.
Listen, man, this ain't the fifth dimension. We can't all have our own edgelord corner.
Surprisingly, yeah, it's debatable. An Imperial Aquila lander is designed to take a whole host, a whole host of people. Probably an entire cohort of Imperial serfs or something. So, well, at least this one's designed to. So you've probably got, if you're spreading yourselves out, there's probably about 3 seats between each of you at current. Maybe one of you is like 2 seats, 1 seat away.
I'm not sitting somewhere else. I just look for it. First open seat I see, walks up, sit down in it.
Well, Arius makes the sign of the Aquila to both of the new arrivals.
I repeat it.
Welcome to his God Emperor's Holy Imperious Inquisition.
That
I am
leaves
Arius
one.
Galustian, although you may call me Father or Father Galustian. I'm cleric of the Ecclesiarchy.
And
you too would be.
I didn't hear a word he said. I am still fervently reading my data slate.
So you get nothing from the tech priest, who's just autopiloting his way towards a seat and sitting down, allowing the harness to come over his head whilst he's continuously staring at this data slate.
Fervorously, too. He looks a little bit panicked. The amount of information he's trying to consume.
What motion he can display, you're getting a general feel of, oh shit. Oh shit, who am I again?
More like an, oh shit, I didn't study for this exam.
Yeah.
That too.
Look at him blankly for a second or two before turning to the Arbites.
Amber Fenris.
And you would be?
Amber Fenris.
Adeptus Arbites?
Yes. New recruit.
What did you do to find? Then what did you do to catch our Inquisitor's attention?
She thinks for a second. You see her eye twitch a little, so does her hand. And then she just kind of shakes. dealt with some chaos worshiper.
Arius flinches, and I will warn you once and never again. If you ever dare to mention the name of the great enemy in front of me, in such casual tones, it is not a wise thing to do in front of a man of the ecclesiarchy.
I understand.
Miss Fenrist.
I understand. She shakes her
I mean,
head.
I would personally argue that you don't know what the fuck chaos is in the first place.
No. In my background, I had
chaos.
in my back in the red vault.
His background does dictate that he's had his eyes opened. Is
Yes,
the best way
I
of
know
putting it.
of them.
He knows some seriously dark shit.
Does he have forbidden law chaos? Like, does he have the forbidden
He doesn't
law?
have the law. He has the experience.
Yeah. So I
He
know
doesn't know what it is. He's just dealt with it.
Yeah, I don't fully know what they are. I just know.
You know that they exist, but you don't know any details.
Yeah, I just know they do fucked up shit to people who are us,
Okay.
and I don't like them.
Sorry, can I revise Arius's reaction to that?
You may.
He raises his eyebrow. Surely a hive world, or whatever world you come from as an Arbites, would be chaotic. I mean, Arbites not trained to deal with civil unrest.
No, it was not the high world I was a part of. It was where I went to for crew deployment. It was. I had to help clear out a mine, and you see her starting to shake a little bit, and then she just stopped talking, and you hear her start muttering a small praise to the Emperor.
As she starts muttering her praise, I suddenly notice that there are people in my immediate proximity and nearly jump out of my skin. Oh, fecal excretions.
Ah, people!
I wasn't aware of you there. How long have you been talking?
Well, my esteemed tech priest, we're, well, welcome to His Emperor's Holy Imperious Inquisition.
Thank you? What exactly is an Inquisition? If you don't mind me asking.
Excuse me.
See, I woke up about 4 hours ago, and I have a motherfucker of a headache. A man handed me this data slate and said I needed to read its entire contents and follow this guy and get on the ship.
You truly have a bizarre demeanor for a tech priest.
I didn't know tech priests even had headaches.
Didn't even know tech priests had the ability to swear.
I didn't know tech priests had the ability to even talk. I thought you just made beeps and boop sounds.
Well,
Well,
Yes, I
request
don't
you
want to
watch-
destroy my throat. I'm not going to try and do a robot voice. Sorry.
I would,
Just me.
I would
Just,
request you perhaps watch your language about the man of the church. Mr.
Radius. So I'm told. I don't really
Radius.
remember much. I think I might have been drinking.
tech priests drink? Prometheo?
I proceed to pull a flask out of my coat and shake it at him a little bit.
No, thank you. I am sworn to chastity and sworn off of things such as that. Perhaps you should lay off of something like that. It could hamper your ability to serve the God Emperor. But you're saying you don't know what the Inquisition is.
More for me then. I proceed to open the flask and take a swig.
What's it? Wait. Is it actual alcohol or is it Prometheo? You're a tech priest. You don't really drink or eat normal food.
chances are it's oil of some kind.
Laced
Probably a
with
very
alcohol.
rich oil.
I
Oil
assumed it
makes
was
you
Unless he's got
If
some
you
really
check
fucking
my character
hardcore toxin filters.
If you check my character sheet, I have a flask.
Yeah.
Yes,
know you
but
have
we're all
flask.
wondering what's in the flask. A flask is fine, it's just a bit of steel that's made weirdly. But
Yeah.
we're all
Amsac.
wondering what you're actually drinking alcohol, jeez.
What the? You got a tech priest. Tech heresy. You're a tech priest that drink alcohol.
Or a newly initiated tech priest.
Oh,
The
okay.
ones that have the fewer augmentations a tech priest has, the more susceptible they are to alcohol and shit.
Oh, okay.
Generally, the more techie a tech priest gets, the less they need stuff like well, the first thing that goes is temptations, and then the need to drink, the need to eat, and then eventually all they need to do is plug themselves in and they can keep going.
So we have a baby tech priest. Okay.
Alcohol is highly efficient fuel. I must remind you.
I
Aside
would
from the fact
like.
that it turns off bits of your brain.
Can I please request that you do not become inebriated on our duties?
Understood. Just
What?
trying to kill this headache.
But you still haven't answered my question. You're saying you don't know what the Inquisition is.
I've heard the word thrown around a few times since I woke up, but I honestly don't know what I'm doing here.
I would assume that the Inquisitor wanted somebody who knew how to work machines. How I didn't fit the bill, I'll never know.
Seems about right. It's all this PDF seems to contain.
Father,
PD what? So, but in the year 40,000, do they have PD fucking Fs?
Oh yeah, this is actually,
No,
my
effectively
data
your
slate is Apple.
yeah your data slate probably has basic schematics or not proper STCs before anyone starts wondering, but probably
Either
like
way, I just spoke
the
techno-lingo
notes.
and they don't understand.
Yeah, it's probably more they've given you the notes from another tech priest who has like probably used them back in their training or something. So you're not exactly a new initiate. Most things will come to you naturally, like muscle memory. So if you see a machine that's broken apart, your muscle memory will kick in and you'll start putting it back together again exactly how you found it. But
Yeah.
for the you don't remember how to put it together. But your body remembers how to put things together again.
You know, I assume that my data slate is a inquisitorial primer. It's probably got like combat doctrine and tech priest, basic maintenance stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's basically
It's like
how
a 300-page document at least.
Well, it's a data slate where that little the scroll down bar is very, 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 very small.
Indeed.
And you're just constantly flicking through page after page, trying to read everything that's on the data slate.
Mm-hmm.
Although, thanks to a tech priest's brain slowly losing its ability to be creative and be extremely logical, it's probably fairly easy for you to absorb this information.
Yeah.
So you're probably nearly finished with reading it and memorizing it at this rate.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So, Father, why are you here? You're a part of the welcome crew?
Welcome, crew.
Because I never...
I suppose that you could very well call it that.
Because from what one little rumors I heard of the Inquisition, I never heard of a... Well, wait, what was your character again? It was a...
Arius Gulustian.
No, I know. No, I mean, what's your role? What was your a cleric, right?
Cleric, yeah.
Yeah, I never heard of a cleric being a part of field missions. Sister of battles, yes, but never clerics themselves.
Well, you're dreadfully misinformed. Men of the ecclesiarchy are all trained to fight. We, after all, have to go after the Emperor's enemies as much as anybody else has a duty to.
Ah,
If not more.
understandable.
Now, let's strap ourselves in. I'm sure that our Inquisitor wants to... Oh, well, let's not keep the man waiting. I've spent 10 years in the warp ready for this day.
10 years.
Indeed, you have. So, the craft took off pretty much the second the ramp closed. So you've been in flight this entire time, more or less.
Okay.
Well, by the time everyone had sat down and all that. Yeah. So you're actually taking a while to get to wherever you go. The Imperial space stations must have been quite close together. It was usually about a 30-minute flight. But this one seems to take a good 2 hours or so of flight time. But when you do get to wherever this shuttle is taking you, the landing is a lot bumpier, so to say. as if you're actually entering into the atmosphere of a planet rather than the artificial atmosphere of a space station. You land, the Aquila lander opens up, and instead of someone coming aboard, it seems all of your harnesses open up, and you're more or less gestured to make an exit off of the craft.
Anybody
like the
here, or
classic
just
red light goes green light.
I'm going to promptly take the lead of the pack and head directly for the exit.
I follow,
Yep.
holding my shotgun still.
follow as well? I don't have
Yeah.
my hands on my weapons because I'm not an antsy dick.
Yeah. So as you exit off of this craft, you're immediately hit by this pretty cold climate. There's a bit of snow even hitting the ground. You breathe in heavily like polluted air. It's not quite poisonous enough to kill you on the spot, but certainly your lungs and possibly liver are going to be hit pretty hard by this.
Am I not used to this since I was on a hive world?
Anyone from a hive world is slightly more used to this than anyone who wasn't. Only by a little bit.
Can
though.
I-
The atmosphere is vaguely different, though.
We're on a hive
Can I
world.
roll for my toughness? As I have a +10, my gas mask.
You don't need to
you-
roll for toughness in the first place, mate. Why are you asking?
Yeah, you don't need to roll. Your respirator is already filtering in all of the good oxygen, so polluted oxygen goes into your mask. Your mask says, "Oh, look, there's poisonous shit in here. I should probably take care of that," and then feeds you the plain oxygen. So everyone except for Radius is basically struggling. And no, I haven't forgotten about you, Deco. You're coming up soon.
Arius tries to keep a straight face. I grew up on a hive world, you know. It's almost good to smell the air again.
Yes.
Almost.
And then I reach into what little shirt I have, pull it up, then I make a maybe cloth form of a mask for my nose and mouth, and just keep walking.
So yeah, there's a fairly obvious path. That's it's the beaten path, so to say, to follow. You're effectively walking across a concrete floor that seems to be leading somewhere. It's pretty hard to see. It seems you've landed at a time where there's a lot of fog and snow, so you can barely see anything in front of you. But you pretty much smell the hive world on this hive world. However, the more you follow this path, you start seeing this sort of mountain, mountain. You start seeing a mountain, at least the shadow of it, as you're approaching it. However, the closer you get to it, there are about 3 things you notice. The first thing is that the mountain seems to have the shape of someone sat in a chair, facing the direction that you're walking in. So effectively, it's facing the direction that you came from. You also notice a door in between where its 2 legs are, and then in front of that door, you can see the outline of an individual who, as you closer, you start getting more details of as you walk towards. And Deco, if you can introduce what the characters see when they're close enough to see your features.
At first, they see a rather typical-looking guardsman, but as they close in further, they see that his armor appears to be rather new and almost a little too big for this scrawny man. He is heavily armed, as most guardsmen are, carrying a shotgun, laser pistol, lasgun, as well as a sword and a knife. That's it, I guess.
Yeah, fully geared individual seems to be doing something at this gate. So to put it into perspective for you, Deco, you've been stood outside this gate for about 30 minutes. Someone dropped you off in this city because you haven't actually left your home world, which is a big Oh, to you. And they pretty much dropped you off in the northern hemisphere of this planet and said, go to the door and wait. And you've been stood here for about 30 minutes, and you're fairly certain that if this door doesn't open soon, you're going to freeze to death.
Such a life
I
as
mean-
a guardsman.
Pretty much. So yeah, you've been barely keeping warm, but yeah, whatever you've been doing to pass the time, you turn around and notice a group of 4 individuals walking towards the gate, and more so towards you.
I salute, I guess. I mean, I don't know,
Guards
I
with
guess-
guardsmen, there is no need to salute. We are not superiors.
I immediately straighten up and make the sign of the cog at him. Instinctively.
Give a warm smile and the sign of the Aquila across the chest. I am Father Arius Galustium. This is Drake Lupus, Radius Solicigo, and Amber Fenrist. We are agents of the God Emperor's Holy Inquisition. We have been told we are to pick you up. You're, well, welcome to the Inquisition.
I can't think of it. Yeah, I just hit a complete blank. Sorry.
It's okay. Most guardsmen would also be stunned at this news.
I'm just kind of staring at the guardsman, like, still very confused as to what I'm doing here.
I'm staring at his las rifle. Wait, you had the las rifle, right?
Las gun.
Yeah, I'm looking at the las gun.
Las gun, las pistol, shotgun, sword, knife,
Yeah.
full guardsman armor,
All of them? The fuck?
using full gear.
I'm now inspecting his gear for flaws from afar.
Has he responded to Arius giving him the welcome?
I'm thinking what to say. Sorry. Hold on.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Salute. Yeah. Hello.
I have told you you don't need to salute. Your name?
Actually, I don't know how to pronounce this. You can just call me Deco.
Nice to meet
Well,
you, Deco.
Deco.
Nice to meet you.
Well, I've already introduced our names. Welcome to the God Emperor's Inquisition. I'm sure we don't want
I
to keep
got
our...
that initiation a bit ago, I guess. Just the basics, really. Nothing. Yeah.
Well, I hope that you can protect us on our more sensitive operations. Speaking of
Oh,
which...
I know how to hold a gun.
As do we all. Now,
Yeah.
what are we to do next? I suppose our Inquisitor will want to meet with us to explain our assignment.
Almost on cue, the doors begin to open inwards. Pretty much as soon as you finish speaking, you just hear this extremely audible and very loud, like creaking, and the sound of like ice breaking as these doors begin to open very, very slowly.
I ready my
The
rifle.
guardsman
my
pretty
gun.
much hops away at that.
I ready my shotgun.
The fuck?
I take a solid 3 steps back and reach for
Arius
something
looks
inside of my
at-
cloak.
Arius looks at the jumpy arbites. There's no need for that. We're on a friendly imperial world in a well-watched area. I'm sure that we're not going to become under assault by anything anytime soon.
Last time I thought that I lost 50 of my friends.
I'm just giving a very suspicious look
I
at you.
slowly lower my gun.
You'd be surprised at what happens in public areas.
Well, it has been a while since I've set foot on Clovis.
Yes.
Who's in the door?
Less who, more what. Effectively, a few moments pass before a servo skull begins to very gingerly hover its way outside of the door, and approaching whoever is the closest to the door very, very slowly.
Probably Deco, because he was
Deco
there
was closest.
first.
Yeah.
He's probably
So this-
going to lean away from it as it closes in.
Yeah. It's boring into your soul. It's looking directly at you and it's hovering very slowly and almost a bit creepily towards you. When it's close enough to practically be in your face, it like a red beam seems to come out of one of its eyes, and it seems to be doing a scan of you. Its red light then turns to a green light, and you just hear a very automated "follow," and it just stares at you, waiting for an acknowledgement.
I take
Okay.
those 3 steps back directly towards the servo skull. Immediately when it says so.
I follow. I follow the
I
technique.
do
off.
as well. I'll
Yeah.
say to the others, this all seems a rather ridiculous and roundabout way of going about this, doesn't it? If there is,
No. It seems a bit more straightforward than normal.
Maybe our Inquisitor lights. I don't know. I don't know how
It's
these
mind
people
games.
work.
He's trying to freak us out.
Why would he attempt to do such a thing? We are his loyal acolytes, or hers, or... Well, to be frank, I haven't actually met them.
If it's a tech priest, it might be it at this point. 'Cause they
10
might-
years aboard their ship, and I haven't actually met them.
I've pulled my data slate out and I'm fervently taking notes on what you guys are saying, as I still have no idea what's going on.
That is. So yeah,
Yes, we'll
this servo
yes, we
skull.
follow this creepy skull.
The servo skull acknowledges that you're going to follow it, just by glancing at you, Deco, and then realizing there's more people before, like, doing a very slow survey and doing a head count almost. And then bobs once up and down rather excitedly before turning around and a bit faster than when it came out. It seems to be hovering its way back inside of this massive door.
Let's follow the creepy skull.
This is an odd servo skull. I follow it.
Yeah.
Does it have
Servo
the
skull-
trademark eye on its forehead?
Oh, you bet your ass it does. Arias, you've spent 10 years on a ship. You've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of these things floating around.
Yeah.
Usually delivering data slates to people. Or leading people to other parts of the ship. Yeah, this one seems to lead you through this pitch black cavern. It's almost impossible to see anything in front of you. If it weren't for like any artificial lights coming off of any of your gear. And the servo skull's like a lamp that seems to be coming from its face. Eventually, yeah, it's very creepy in here. Eventually, the servo skull leads you towards another set of giant double doors that, when they open up, even just a slight bit, this like sliver of light seems to penetrate the darkness, and after a while, you're all engulfed in this very
Blinding.
warm golden glow from the room that you're about to enter into. It's very yeah, like I said, it's very warm. You get a very good feeling from this glow.
Died, I'm not the emperor.
Yeah. And when the doors fully open and you're actually able to see because you're not immediately blinded by this sudden bright light, you notice that you're in a sort of more or less a giant banquet hall with like a massive table in the middle, with dozens, if not hundreds, of people, like just moving between different parts of the room and sitting at the table. It seems it must feel kind of awkward for some of you because you're all heavily armed and armored, and you've just walked into what seems like a fairly festive, if not friendly, gathering of what you can only assume are friends and acquaintances, possibly nobles for those of you who are a bit wealthier than the others.
I'm already, I'm
I'm
used to this. I'm pretty
Have
sure
I
I've guarded a
missed
few
something?
parties.
It seems like we should have more context here.
Basically, imagine you've walked into a rich person's like banquet gathering sort of dinner, and there's just the five of you that have walked in, and it's no one seems to really no one's noticed the five of you, or if they have noticed, they don't seem to really care that the five of you have emerged. It's almost like you've just blundered into this, and everyone seems to be purposely trying to ignore you and deny that you exist.
I am go up to the nearest person that looks like they know something.
I'm going to stand as close to the servo skull as I possibly can.
I follow the
Yeah,
father.
I'm going to stick with the servo skull because
Alright.
I don't
Yeah,
want
actually,
to kick off the
I'll do
wrong
that
guy.
too. Better idea.
So
But
following
I'm
the
like
server skull,
awkward close to it.
yeah. So following the server skull, you notice something quite disturbing. The servo skull seems to fly directly through someone standing still. They fly straight through them as if it's nothing. For a moment,
I immediately try poking them.
Yeah, you poke them, and their reaction is non-existent, and your finger goes straight through them.
And I ran in my shotgun again.
Yeah. To Radius, you're getting sort of vague memories of of this kind of thing. Both the technology and these type of events happening to you. Technology-wise, this is definitely some kind of hologram that seems to be extremely high detail, which is kind of creepy to you because such technology is usually very rare and an extremely very well guarded secret of the Mechanicus,
ghosts!
and yet this is here.
They're ghosts. We walked into a room full of ghosts.
So
Are
I'm
you really
aware
saying
that
that in
they're
character?
holograms.
Yes.
Yeah, for you, Radius, it snaps to you immediately when the server skull flowed through them. Like, yeah, this is just a hologram.
So as I see him freak out, I like.
I'm not freaking out.
Well, you jumped a little bit.
Yeah.
As I see you jump a little bit, I like not loudly. I just say it like so all of us can hear it. I just say holograms.
What's a hologram?
A poking one. Poke, 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 poke.
They are specters of the Omnissiah. People
They're
who are
ghosts.
far away from here projecting their avatars.
So, like...
Aris stops in his tracks. Excuse me, the Omnissiah.
Our Lord?
He has his palm resting on the grip of his pistol.
Father, he's a tech priest. They follow something different from us.
So, hey, the servo skull.
Excuse me?
Getting away? Getting away? We should follow
Something
it.
different from us.
The Omnissiah is the specter of the machine god.
Oh god, this is gonna be a bloodbath.
Draw pistol.
Now, gentlemen, you need only
Can I
relax.
attempt to disarm
No,
with
no.
the staff that's in my hand?
I'm standing in the middle of both of you.
You're at
Both of you,
distance, my
calm
friend.
down.
He's not pointing it at you. He hasn't pointed it at the ground.
Either way-
Oh, he does?
Off the
Okay.
ways of the redemptionist.
Either way, a voice speaks out from the murmurings of the hologram saying exactly what I said. The whole, now, gentlemen, calm down. And the hologram immediately, like, deactivates, which is kind of a shock to some of you, as you've obviously never seen nor heard of what a hologram actually is. And the room immediately sort of, like, dims quite drastically as the lights seem to turn down.
Get my shotgun
table-
ready again.
Yeah, I know you have your shotgun ready. I'm going to assume that's your active default to everything. The elongated table that you were used to staring at with all the food and drink and everyone being happy immediately shortens down to a sort of the kind of table you'd expect to see in like a conference room within a business. So it's big enough to fit probably about 12 people around it. But it's not quite big enough to fit, like, as you were seeing, about 48 people around it. And at this table, you can see a man wearing very, like, well, extremely like shiny and very glossed over golden carapace armor, with a sort of a tint of black to it, where its shadows would be. This man looks to be about middle-aged. He has a very large yet extremely well-healed scar going across his face, as well as a couple of like burn marks here and there. One of his eyes appears to be cybernetic. He doesn't appear to have any hair on his head, but he seems to be like sat forwards with his hands clasped together, with his face just in front of his hands. And he seems to be staring, glancing between Arius and Radius.
Oh, this is the Inquisitor.
I salute!
Arius holsters his weapon and drops to one knee. Actually, wait, he drops to both knees and prostrates. My lord.
I'm gonna crock my staff on my shoulder, make the sign of the cog, and bow my head because I see everybody else saluting him.
Yeah. He looks at you, Arius, and says, you know, you do not need to call me Lord. Our Lord is elsewhere, and busy. I'm but a mere servant, like the rest of you.
Oh. He stands up and dusts himself off. Then, who are you?
I'm Interrogator Mithras.
Not Inquisitor?
I'm not your Inquisitor, no. He is busy with other actions and does not have time to be dealing with a whole group of initiates. Ergo, you'll be under my care. Well, I couldn't really care much about any of you. You have yet to prove yourselves in the glory that is the Inquisition. Come, take a seat. We have details that need to be discussed, and heretics that need to be put to the torch.
I'm gonna promptly sit across the table from him.
I go straight to a seat.
I'll sit down wherever there's a spare seat.
I'm going to try and sit as far away from him as possible.
Fair enough.
I may
That seat is
have
taken.
insulted him with my remark. So I'm going to try and sit as far away from him as possible.
Arius does shoot a brief at Radius from across the table. Just a brief glare. Well, Interrogator. It is an honor to finally meet an ordained member of the Inquisition in person.
He nods at you. Quite rapidly. And begins to he pulls a bag, like a rucksack, on top of the table, opens it, pulls out about 6 data slates, hands one to each of you. And as he starts talking, the data slate begins to decrypt itself, so I'll reveal to you the handout that I've got written up for you, Sue, as soon as he's finished reading it.
Wait, hold on, time out. So, I think I read somewhere that you actually have to obtain literacy. You have to buy literacy in order to...
Yeah, you have to have the literacy skill to be able to read. That's why I love the 40k RPGs.
Tell me you say
Yeah.
you all have
Reading
that skill.
is a skill.
This
Don't
man
I
is
have
assuming that
literacy?
you can read. Yes, you're a tech priest. Every tech priest can read.
Yeah.
It's
Do
pretty
you
much
have the
only
literacy
scum and
skill, though?
guardsmen that can't really read.
Yay, I can read!
You have the literacy skill, though.
It would be funnier if we had the guardsman like leaning over somebody's shoulder asking questions until he gains literacy.
The issue is that's actually probably what's happening, as guardsmen can't get literacy until like level 2.
Would I know how to read or no?
I
If you
think
have
I'll
the literacy skill, yes. If not, no. Someone will have to read for you.
Are we seriously going with that?
Yeah.
Yep, we are.
Oh, well, then...
Them's the rules.
Dude, in Warhammer Fantasy, I had a wizard, and he was like a Zinchian bastard, but he couldn't read.
I can tell you now, Connor, before you start freaking the fuck out, yes, arbitrators have literacy, calm.
Yay,
Anyway.
I can read.
You can read, you have a human basic skill. Congratulations. You weren't raised by a group of gangers who never thought teaching him how to read could probably come in handy. But anyway,
So
so
just over half of us can read then.
Yeah, enough of you can read that you can inform Deco of what his job is. But yeah, the interrogator begins by saying, first and foremost, I expect at least one of you to come back alive from this mission. The more, the better, generally. Anyway, on to the actual details.
Side note,
Questions?
as I view myself as a superior, I'm trying to explain things to Daco as we go through,
Ready.
reading it to him.
Yeah. He says, shortly you will be shuffled aboard an Imperial lander which will take you to another cruiser that will then take you to another part of the subsector. As I'm sure at least one of you is caught on, you are on the Imperial hive world of Scintilla at the moment. However, this is not where your first mission will begin. We're sending you to the Imperial hive world of Canopus, within the Jossian Reach. Upon this world is the Imperial hive city Cyprian Secundus, one of the major hive cities responsible for harvesting and mining the precious minerals and ores that are used elsewhere in the Calixis sector. In this hive, several events have transpired. Of course, several drawbacks within the mines and the underhive levels. These events have been detected and noted as psychic disturbances and phenomena.
Psychers?
Witchcraft?
We cannot overtly investigate this due to the Thai festivals approaching, and we don't want to cause more chaos than has already been caused. As such, our Lord has decided to dispatch the 5 of you to begin investigating this threat as well as executing it. You are to act covertly in order to investigate, locate, and execute whoever or whatever has been causing these disturbances and phenomena.
And let me guess, if we get caught, you have no idea who the heck we are.
If you get caught, the Adeptus Arbites will summarily execute each and every one of you. Believe me, my lord has his ways.
I seem
Now then.
slightly relieved when
Yeah,
he
that's
said
what I
that.
said.
Now then, my lord has left several addendums for you all that might shed some light on the current situations going on. One of these addendums is noted as psychic phenomena. The phenomena detected were varied in appearance and effect on the hive's populace. One of the effects noted was a man walking through the street, calmly and quietly minding his own business before very randomly shouting, you won't get me again, brother, and immediately attacking everyone around him. Another such event that transpired, and he begins to look at Amber. A triplet of free enforcers were ruthlessly slaughtered by what the hive worlders call a slaughter man, someone who carves meat. He eviscerated them where they stood, and it took an arbitrator standing nearby several seconds to shoot him dead. Each and every case has reported the eyes of the attackers being completely greyed out before returning to their natural colors upon death. It is probably worth noting, we are not the first organization to have decided to react to this. The Adeptus Ministorum, or the Ecclesiarchy to you plebeians, has increased their methods in an attempt to keep the people of this world calm and resisting the rebellion.
Rightly so.
The
Perhaps you should-
intensity... I apologize, brother, but I have my details that I must speak upon you before you begin. I trust you understand. The intensity the Ecclesiarchy has decided to increase this. I'm sure, brother, that you are aware of the redemption.
Redemptionist cults? Here?
Yes. They arrived on Canopus 3 weeks ago and have established themselves as a very fearful force to be reckoned with within the Underhive. They're keeping the men and women of the High World calm by killing any who they deem heretical. Of course, this has meant the deaths of several innocents, as they executed them before they could start being affected. The third and final addendum my lord has given upon to me is the effect this is all having on the tithe of this world. The minerals and ores collected are being mined out of a mountainous region that Cyprian Secundus lies next to. These effects have been occurring tenfold within the mines, workers randomly attacking one another, causing, well, the body count to pile up.
Can't really mind the ores if the mines are full of corpses.
Well, I would mind if all the workers who are taking that ore out of the mountains are dying, because it means no one is doing it. These ores are, how should I put this, crucial to several Forge and other hive worlds within this part of the subsector, even other parts of the subsector. The nearest Forge world is Turan Shush, about a subsector away, and they require these ores for their weather-resistant material. These materials are used on several battle tanks that are being examined, so to say. We've encrypted these data slates and made them available to all of you.
Can't read.
Yes, we're aware you can't read. Please try to be polite before I put a bolt round between your eyes, you insolent swine. Anyway, I trust you all
Arius is
to
taken
complete...
back by this rudeness.
I trust you all to complete this mission fluently and to my exact expectations. I do not care much of how you get it done as long as you don't ever mention the words Inquisition to anyone whilst on this world. Doing so would be not only the end of your service, but also the end of your very life.
Excuse me, sir, but no one seems to be informing me. What precisely is this Inquisition?
This man is the perfect example, he says, looking at the other four. You should deny that you even know that we exist. Keep it up.
Interrogator, I regret to inform you that he quite literally does not know what the glorious God Emperor's Imperious Inquisition actually is.
Maybe we should wait
Perhaps
to
we should
tell him
keep it-
afterwards.
Yeah, let's wait until after the mission.
Believe me, my tech priest friend, the Omnissiah willed you to have much of your memory erased, for good reason.
About that. What in the God Emperor's name is the Omnissiah, and why should I respect a man that worships that instead of the Emperor?
He looks at you for a moment, and then looks at the tech priest, and says,
Sorry,
"Care to
Alex.
explain, brother?"
Alex, I couldn't quite hear you over me talking.
Oh, he literally just looks at you and sort of like kind of gives a brief, awkward look between the two of you, like, "Oh God, not one of them." He looks at you. He looks at you, Radius, almost like, "Do you want to explain to this man what the Omnissiah is, or would you like me to do it?"
The look on the half of my face that is still flesh looks like I'm about to blow a fuse, trying to just compute where I begin on this. I shifted my seat slightly and I grabbed the handle of my last pistol and kind of angled my leg under the table that I'm kind of half pointing at him with it, just in case I need to kill a heretic.
God damn it, don't kill each other.
I just start
I
muttering,
am the heretic, you the heretic.
Omnissiah, Machine God, Tech Spirits.
Am I gonna
I'm
hold an action
incapable
to
of
tackle
words at the
one of
moment.
them?
Mate, all you have to say right now to not cause a gunfight is the Omnissiah is an aspect of the Emperor. That's true in every way, and that's all you have to say. Please just say that, fam.
Well,
I don't want to have to shoot someone because of my character's fucking description. Ah! Come on, man. Throw me a bone. Throw me a bone.
A metal bone.
The Omnissiah is the light that preserves us. I go on and I base everything I say about the Omnissiah is descriptions of the Emperor. I mention the Astronomicon. I mention his founding of the Imperium. I mention all of that. I talk about how he's the living specter of the machine god and how all knowledge flows from the Omnissiah.
Iris lets loose a hearty. I truly do apologize, my brother. You simply call the Emperor by a different name. I truly do apologize for my treatment of you earlier. I'm sure that we can put this behind us.
Understood.
I apologize to you as well, Interrogator. Of course,
I
it
ease my grip off of my pistol and relax in my seat.
I relax too. They won't kill each other today.
Today.
Kato's actually considering that bolt shell now.
He looks between all 5 of you and says, "Now that you're all relaxed, I assume you can make your way back outside towards the ship that will take you to this planet."
So simply to recap, we're to investigate these phenomena of witchcraft on this world. And we are
Investigate and put down.
given... What if we
Great
are
out.
unable to put down with the manpower we have? We are but 4 people.
5.
Perhaps 5. I can't count, I have literacy, not numeracy.
He looks between the 5 of you and says,
I'm kidding. That was a fucking Freudian slip.
He looks between the 5 of you and says, "If the 5 of you can't deal with a simple threat like this on a heavily populated world, none of you should be here."
Interrogator, with all due respect, we are dealing with witchcraft. I learnt only a small amount of it when I was on the ship. What was the ship called? Like the name of the ship?
I'm trying to scroll from my notes now. It was called the Argent Solar Progenation.
The Argent Solar Protestinate.
Would you mind spelling that for me?
I could certainly try.
Can we just call it the Argent Solar?
Yeah, just call it the Argent Solar for now.
When I was aboard the Argent Solar for 10 years, I learnt a bit about witchcraft, and well, what it sounds, men who are witches can flay mortals from their skin using heretical powers bestowed upon them by dark malevolences. Surely, if we encounter someone like that, the 5 of us won't be enough to deal with someone who's proficient in the use of these abilities, especially
Well, they're
enough
all
to
the
control the
redemptionists.
minds of others.
they still
me-
die if you take off their heads.
He
Perhaps
looks
they
you.
would take our minds over before we are able to do so.
He looks you dead in the eyes, Arias, and says, "In all your 10 years, did you not remember the litany of the Emperor protects?" And you can hear the anger raising in his voice. It seems your statement has raised a question in his mind. Is this man questioning his faith in the Emperor right now? Because so help me the Emperor, I will kill you.
Interrogator, I am a man of the ecclesiarchy, a cleric of the
I am a
Adeptus
man of the
Soror.
Inquisition.
As soon as he said about that litany of
Then
protection,
we both
you
know
can
the importance
quietly
of
hear
faith. Yet,
I am
in my years
playing a
abroad,
recording of it.
we both know the importance of faith. However, I also am a man of logic. I burned 3 men alive on a fucking backwater world based entirely on faith, and they were innocent. We must take into our hearts both the logic of the real... Sorry, I can't speak properly. We must take into
Alright.
our hearts both our faith in the Emperor and, in equal measures, see what is around us. If we are
I've burnt entire worlds of innocent people.
and you did
or at
so
least a
with battleship and armies. We are but 5 people.
5 people with exceptional skill compared to the other mongrels of the Imperium.
I look across the table at him and I just say, "The Omnissiah protects."
He takes a moment to glance at each and every one of you and says, "My dear brother Arias, were you not maybe clad in armor and backed up by hundreds? You are backed up instead by 5 equally skilled individuals." And he goes through each one and says, "The man near you, Drake, trained assassin, can kill people quietly. I've seen the records. Several hundred confirmed kills. Radius, a man who knows little of his own life, yet in his past life has seen the deaths of hundreds. Amber, witnessed countless heresies and yet has still stood here with her mind intact. And Deco, though you know little about him and he is the newest amongst our number, is still a trained Imperial Guardsman. You're not fighting a horde of orcs. You're fighting something that we can only assume is worse, yet equally easier to fight in a hand-to-hand fight. I find your lack of faith in your friends awfully disturbing. If you ever question my lord's decision to put the 5 of you against the unholy, then perhaps you should never have joined."
You put words in my mouth, interrogator. May I simply let it be known that if we find ourselves out of our league, facing something that we are unable to deal with, we will find a way to contact you to ask for assistance. Be that stormtroopers or more acolytes. Do know that there is a possibility that we encounter something that we are ill-equipped to deal with.
We're aware. Countermeasures are in place.
Then
In
we
the
are in
meantime,
agreement.
though, I expect you to manipulate where you can. If you cannot deal with something, see what manipulation can get you.
Arius smiles. I am perfectly well versed, thank you.
I expect crowds upon crowds of people, armed little with pipes, marching against the unholy if it means joining the Emperor or living to see the next day. Assume you
Nod.
still have the skills to talk in front of a crowd.
Arius somberly nods. I've seen you've read my reports. Or, well, read the reports on me.
I've read all of them. Many times. We have absolute faith in the 5 of you. And we hope to see at least 2 of you come back alive. Anyway, the ship is waiting outside. Please do not delay.
At least 2.
I promptly get up and head for the exit.
I get
Same.
up. Sir, before we leave, I have one quick question. Will we be able
What?
to make any requisitions on our way to the world we're heading towards?
Oh, you make me laugh. No, get out.
And I leave.
I'm like already down the hall at that point.
Damn, I want
Dunked.
Yeah, I'm
Shut
I'm
down.
gone.
As you're making to leave, you can just hear him mumbling to himself, "Requisitions, what are you, fucking deaf, what? And then you turn around, you notice if he's face palming on the table, just like, initiates, they hurt my brain." And then, yeah, you leave.
Oh, this is great.
This is going to be a hell of a ride. Also, I need to give you guys another handout, actually. So, on a sort of different handout, or more or less notes, you're given some minor data about the planet. Just general stuff. So that you know where the hell you're going.
I'm actually tempted to not read these because of
I will be telling you
devil's
this.
literacy,
I
but I
will
could probably
told
just
you.
poke someone to read them for me.
I'm assuming one of us will have read them to you on our way there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably me, because I'm still full of my intelligence.
What's your intelligence level?
Oh, no, it's not even about the intelligence. I'm a tech priest. I think I'm smarter than you.
I'm just asking.
I have intelligence 35.
Okay, yeah, you have 5
Yep,
points.
you're smarter than me.
By 5. You're smarter than me by 5.
Same.
What matters is I think I'm smarter than you.
That's okay, I have a fellowship of 42.
That is good.
I don't know why.
I've only got 39 and I'm supposed to be the people person.
God damn. I'm an RMI. I have to talk to people constantly.
Are
We
you supposed to be
both
clinically insane? Jesus. Anyways.
So, outside of these double sets of giant doors that you've just walked into, had someone shout at you for 5 minutes, and then walked out of, you can see that the Imperial lander that dropped you off is gone, and that you probably identify the inquisitorial signature on a gun cutter class craft. Sat there patiently waiting for you all to get on board. For anyone wondering what a gun cutter is, imagine a human-sized version of a Thunderhawk, and that's basically what you're getting on.
Yay!
I'm
Pretty
still
much the
just
same
like
structure.
I won.
automatically following orders. I was probably at the head of our people train.
I'm just gonna follow Arius for now. He seems to be in charge.
Yeah.
Actually, I am curious. Who should be the sort of team leader for our little group?
You talking out of character or in character right
No,
now?
actually, how about Arius brings this up in character and we solve that like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So while
you've
we're
got
riding on the gun cutter.
you've got several days of travel before you even get to this planet.
I believe a leadership position would be... Well, we should sort something like that out. Don't want any confusion when we're in the field. Need somebody who can give orders.
I lean into the group. I say, state ranks.
We're not in the Imperial Guard anymore.
I was
We
never
just
a
have-
guardsman.
Well, exactly. We're not in the Imperial Guard. Ranks don't particularly matter here.
The
Ability to
hierarchy,
lead does.
the hierarchy is still observed.
chain
Well,
of
if we're
command's
going on-
important.
Well, if we're going on that logic, then I would nominate myself. I'm a man of the ecclesiarchy. If we are to root out the unfaithful, then we need a man of faith leading it. Leading the
Please.
purge.
State your rank.
Cleric.
Out of character, I meant like your actual rank status.
The Adeptus Ministorum doesn't really have ranks beyond what the rulebook gives me. So, cleric.
I mean, like, in the guardsman tab, like, rank 1's conscript.
Cleric.
Alright.
He's just cleric.
Hold on, I'm actually trying to find mine at the moment.
No, novice.
Trooper.
Novice.
Conscript.
Novice.
I've unfortunately been unable to advance my rank as there has been no official institution of the ecclesiarchy upon the... What the fuck was it called again? Solar something.
The Argent Solar.
As there was no official institution of the ecclesiarchy upon the Argent Solar. I am, however, experienced in matters of faith.
I'm just a guardsman. I just do what the higher-ups tell me to do.
As we are all of equal rank, I edict that we put it to a vote.
Democracy in the Imperium. Such a thing hasn't existed since ever. Really?
Is that heresy? Well, I know if that is
Yeah.
heresy.
Yeah, when you do the entire galaxy to infinite torments inflicted by dark gods, but at least you don't have an unelected head of state.
It's usually a
Fucking
dictatorship.
horrors!
I mean, like, imperial worlds all have different systems of government. There are democracies on those worlds, but they are...
Emperor is an
Yeah, but
elect-
you're usually
government
inbred
imperial.
born into it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Rome. The little bits of it could vote for their own rules, but at the end of the day, they all answer to the emperor.
Yeah.
Or America.
The answer to England. America's dead. We're all British and Russian.
The monarch doesn't have any power. Anyways, enough politics. On to politics. Well, perhaps
On
we
to
should
more
open our
politics.
So yeah,
Perhaps
back to the
those
point
of
when
us
I
who
mentioned the vote. How do you guys take that?
Well, perhaps those of us who wish to take leadership positions would put our cases forward. Shall I start, or does anybody else want to?
You can start, Father.
Thank you. Well, as I already said, if we are to root out the unfaithful, then we need a man of unquestionable faith to lead the purge. I would nominate myself for this. I have already led one such purge upon the agri-world of... Shit. I had it in the message that I sent to you, Alex. Do you have it written down?
I'm really trying to remember.
Agri-world was called? I'll go back in our chat. It might be there, fam.
I can just hear my niece
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
Overwatch in the background right now. Does it?
Alex, in my
Hilarion.
data slate, would there be redacted files about
Yeah.
the information the Ecclesiarchy had on me, informing me who the fuck I am?
The Ecclesiarchy doesn't know anything about you to begin with, since you were
Or
born
sorry,
on the
the
Forge world.
Inquisition. That
But
was
the Inquisition,
done.
yeah, they would have redacted stuff like, you know, certain Xenos races and certain events that occurred within your life cycle. I'm fairly sure it was Hilarion, by the way, Josh.
so that data slate is
Lauren.
telling me who I am, except for
Yeah,
anything
it's
that I
it's
can't
giving
know.
you the bare minimum, like, this man is a tech priest. He's a so-and-so thing from this planet, and he's done everything right that a tech priest could do, but he did something, and now he's here.
So it says everything about me except for anything that I shouldn't know, right?
Yeah, literally the vaguest possible thing.
It tells you everything that you don't have the that you have the law skills to know.
Okay.
So
So
basically,
if you don't
you're a
have
tech
the
priest.
Xenos, you don't know what it doesn't tell you what a Dark Eldar is.
Well, it says it said as I was a highborn, and then it says I was an explorator and an engine seer prime. That kind of stuff. But it doesn't say I know anything about anything.
Yeah, basically, you know you're a tech priest, and that's pretty much all you know for certain. The rest of it is all just sort of, yeah, you kind of, you know.
But I do know my background, that I was an engine seer prime on the Harbinger. I just don't know anything that happened there.
Yeah, you probably don't know what the Harbinger is. Like, there wasn't any reference. Like, you were on the rogue trader or explorator ship. You were just sort of like, there's a ship. It's called the Harbinger, and you were on it at some point in your life.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's going to be my only point of the argument, is that I was an engine seer prime.
As I said, if we are to purge the unfaithful and root out heresy, then we need a man of pure faith to lead the charge. I have already led such a purge on an agri-world in the sector. I was sent there on my own and rallied the local populace to the cause. I believe that I would be a perfect fit for the leadership of this mission. Anybody else?
According to these documents I'm reading, I've already held a leadership position aboard a vessel called the Harbinger. I was the engine seer prime in the engineering division.
And if you cannot remember the skills that led you to that position, then what use is that?
According to the document, I had an outstanding rating of leadership.
And if you have lost those skills through a mind wipe, as the documents say, then what use is it that you were?
I am who I was. My components remain.
Yet your skills do not.
Also, how do we know that document is telling the truth?
I had not considered that point.
Because you cannot remember an emperor damned thing. You didn't even know what the Inquisition was, for his sake.
However, I'm aware of the Omnissiah.
So of course you are. We are all aware of the faith which we are brought up in, but nothing can bring that away from us. Anyways, this was up to a vote. We have both put our cases forward. Everyone, of course, we have voted for ourselves, so our votes are moot. The three of you.
Actually, I cast my vote for the guardsman.
Why me?
Guardsmen die standing. That's their shtick. Yeah, the sergeant.
It
Yeah.
seems to be logical.
I vote. I vote myself.
So you're all voting yourselves to be the leaders.
Are we?
I'm voting for Arius.
I'll vote for the guardsman.
God damn it.
I didn't even make a case to be the leader.
And
He didn't even put himself forward. What the fuck?
this is not the case that I feel that the two of you have made.
This is that exact scenario of someone writing their own name on a ballot board. Like, like using the American election, it was like Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, someone put Bob Saget, you know, and then everyone's just like, everyone just voted Bob Saget for some reason.
These nuts as presidents. God damn.
Some
that happens.
30,000 Americans voted Harambe.
Are you serious?
Is that funny? That's kind of true.
I'm not fucking with you. Some 30,000 Americans voted Harambe.
Dude, I fucking hate my country so much.
So do I. So do I. I hate our
That's
country.
idiotic.
We all hate where we
It's
live anyway.
beautiful. It's a top meme.
Anyway.
No, I hate my government. I love my country.
Anywho,
So we're all voting for ourselves.
Everyone's either voting for themselves or as a meme voting for Deco.
Let's all roll a
we
D10. Whoever rolls highest, the leader. I think that's the only way we can break this tie.
both of us roll a d10. Whoever's highest, the leader. Okay.
I got a 9.
God, but you weren't even in the vote. You didn't even
Yeah,
want to be the leader.
I'm gonna limit this to the 2 people in the vote.
Oh, okay.
Failing that, everyone right. Well, actually,
Nah,
no,
fuck my ass. Okay. Fucking tech boy roll.
Alex, please roll.
I will roll in the name of Radius. Which means this is probably going to be better, I'm sorry. Yeah, Radius got a 7.
Hail Mao.
So, the tech priest is our leader.
The least social of you is the leader, yes.
For a brief moment, he makes a siren sound.
I feel very concerned.
I demand a recount.
You are in highly calculative hands.
Oh.
Like it matters, you're all gonna go off and do your own thing anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
the leader's gonna be like, right, what's the plan? I'm gonna go off now, bye. And then
Goodbye.
goes and finds a something of a something and kills it. Anyway, back to the dank memes. So
Harambe is
Yeah.
our inquisitor. Yes.
yes, it is known. So a few days pass. During these 3 days, you don't really have a lot of time to do anything, as you're all being like what? You're all being shuffled from one ship to another, and generally taken around several different space stations before eventually you're set on. You're shoved onto basically another Imperial lander, so you're already used to these kind of craft. The purpose of changing ships is so that no one can track you from off-world. And yeah, this Imperial lander decides, hey, let's actually drop these people off and where they're supposed to be going. Because why not? It'll be a meme. And yeah, you will feel the rough jolting of the ship as you're taken down to the atmosphere of Canopus. The interior of the ship is the standard, metallic cold that you're all used to, so you don't feel any change in the atmosphere. However, when the boarding ramp, not boarding ramp, but what? Yeah, boarding ramp, fuck it. When the boarding ramp opens up, a sudden gust of extremely cold wind, colder than the northern hemisphere of Scintilla, just blasts through the hatch, immediately causing you all to shiver in this freezing atmosphere that's just hit you.
I don't shiver at the wind, but you do see my coat get blown open, and you can see a las pistol and a knife inside of it, and everything else I'm carrying.
On to the teeth.
Ugh. I am not used to this kind of weather.
Arius brings his robes closer to him. Never got this high in the hives back home. Never got this
Believe
cold
me,
there
you're
either.
still not as high as you think you are. But yeah, when you get off the ship, it seems you've landed outside of this massive dome that's covering the entire city. As if you read in the Canopus data, the outside temperature is too cold that if you stay outside it for too long, you will actually freeze to death and die. So, the Adeptus Mechanicus came up with the genius idea of putting a nice insulated dome over the top of all of the major hive cities. Where inside it's usually a little bit... it's warm enough that people can survive it.
Still cold as fuck, though.
It's still cold as fuck, yeah.
So...
Cadre 23, let's embark.
What the hell did you just say?
He told you
At
get
no
inside
point
the
did I
giant
ever
dome.
tell you guys the team name that I was planning. I just said you all can do what you want with that. I set off towards the dome.
Sure.
I look
So,
kind of confused and then I follow.
yeah. Pretty much putting this into perspective, imagine a city roughly the size of probably New York put inside of a giant dome. And then instead of it being nice and spread out, stacked on top of each other.
The hives...
Within this dome.
Yeah.
I want to say snow globe.
Yeah. Imagine a snow globe except you can't see inside of it.
Yeah.
Due to all of the pollution.
And
Do
the
we
fact-
see a door?
Yeah, there's a massive bulkhead door that you are making your way towards. However, it seems something is making its way towards you as well. A triplet of what you can only assume are like enforcers, just petty officers, so to say. They appear to be walking towards you. They're all very lightly armored, but they're all wearing like heavy-duty, weather-resistant clothing, and they're all armed with combat shotguns.
I'm gonna give a hand signal to the group to fan out.
So wait, are these Arbites or someone else?
These
They're
are enforcers. They're the people that tend to deal with like bar brawls and petty crimes, whereas Arbites tend to deal with terrorist plots and all that kind of shit.
So I'm the
Basically,
boss,
you're the
kinda.
big deal. You're not necessarily their boss because you're still an extremely low rank. It's just you sort of have a mutual understanding of each other.
Okay.
Directly
Right.
after I signaled for us to fan out, I signaled for the Ecclesiarch to take point.
I stand by the
Alright.
Ecclesiarch acting as his bodyguard.
You all can do with that what you want to. Like, you don't need to listen to me.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Arius, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, Arius. I'm going to stick with him. He actually seems to know what he's doing.
I'm
Thank
just
you, a
following
child.
the whole. He's a Ecclesiarch. It's my job to protect people. I guess I have to protect him more. Sorry, Guardsman.
Yeah. So whoever's the closest to these enforcers gets approached by the middle one. So I'm assuming everyone
Arius will-
is sort of hunkering behind Arius.
Arius will present himself. Hail, enforcers.
Yeah, Emperor be with you. We're doing some basic questions for why you're here. So why are you here? What's your purpose?
My name is Arius Galustian. I am a cleric of the Ecclesiarchy. These are my bodyguards, and my assistant from the Adeptus Mechanicus. Went towards Radius.
I make the cog at them. and nod.
Okay. Do you have
Yeah,
any
I hit.
papers?
Do we?
Yeah, if you
Huh?
check the handout, basically everything that was read to you is complete gobbledygook, as it's heavily encrypted by the Inquisition. But the bottom of it, well, the very top of it is basically some bullshit excuse that you're here to more or less, as an advanced preparation group to make sure that the TIE Festival is completely ready. So you're Adeptus Terra agents rather than Inquisitorial agents.
Okay, I'm gonna hand
it's
him
just-
the papers, and I'm going to uncoyly explain everything that says about why we're here, holding nothing back.
So basically, you're immediately telling him that, hey, we're also here from the Inquisition. Have fun.
If he
No,
does,
no, no,
I
like-
can...
The whole cover story. I'm not being coy about the cover story. I'm telling him everything about
The
it.
cover story. Only the cover story. He's not saying that we're Inquisition. He's just saying that.
I
we're
don't
the
need-
cover-
Yeah, I got that. Okay.
Oh, thank God! I may have had to shoot you right there.
Yeah. He looks at you and just goes, yeah, just give me the paper. And although you hand him a data slate, he still flicks through it as if it's paper. And says, Inspection Group 1138. 5 people. AdMech. Arbitrator. Yeah, okay, yeah, I get the picture. He more or less like hands you back the data slate without like looking at you, but he's doing that asshole thing where he assumes your hands are ready to catch it, and he more or less drops it, expecting you to catch it. You probably do. I mean, you're right there. And he like turns around to like call something into his microbead before turning back and saying, "Welcome to Canopus, the happiest hive world in the sector." Blah blah blah. Yeah, you get the picture. Assuming you're here to sort out the TIE festivals, I wish you the best of luck. Go right on in. And he like gestures to the giant dome. You can tell this guy is depressed, miserable, and probably hates his own existence.
So he's a normal civilian.
Welcome
Yeah,
to the
pretty much.
Imperium of Man.
The
Yeah.
happiest place in the world. If you're not into being happy.
Another version of Christmas is just like a full month of crying, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sanguinalia.
Sanguinala.
That's an actual thing?
Yeah, Sanguinala. It's like everybody mourns the death of Sanguinius.
Oh.
Yep, pretty much. I mean,
Crybaby
no one
Fest.
knows who Sanguinius is, but
Other
they
than
still
he's
mourn
like-
the death of him.
Like, it's really dodgy, that stuff, actually. Like, the church treats the Primarchs as saints. Like, that normal people will
I thought
know
it was
as...
demigods.
Well, that's what they actually are, but the church treats them as saints, at least the loyalist ones. Nobody knows
Well, I
about the
mean-
traitors. They don't exist.
The God Emperor technically isn't a god. He's just a really powerful being, and the
Well,
Primarchs
yeah,
aren't
but the
technically
ecclesiarchy
demigods.
believes that he is.
But,
Yeah.
like,
The ecclesiarchy also treats the Primarchs
Yeah, but
as
millions
saints.
of years have dictated he's now God. Anyway, moving on.
But yeah, we view the God Emperor as God, and we view them as demigods. And Sanguilius sacrificed himself.
We all know
we don't
this,
know
fam.
why.
We all know this,
We all
fam.
know this, my dude.
We all know the
know
story.
this, fam.
We all know the story. The big bad man came and did something nasty. Anyway,
But- Yeah, as far as I know, the ecclesiarchy just, says that Sanguinius saved the emperor from a traitor. A traitor. Don't ask who that is.
yeah,
We don't know either.
He killed evil.
he killed the bad thing, and the bad thing, yeah. So, yeah, these enforcers, they seem to sort of like, as they were approaching you, and they're borderline suspicious of who you were, they were like, "Oh, you're just, oh, okay, you're that lot, all right." And they proceed to like go back inside, basically. I mean, some of you may be wondering, do they not care that we're armed? Everyone in the Imperium is armed. It's actually a requirement that you have some kind of armament in the event of planetary invasion. So, pretty much wherever you go, you're going to see an Imperial civilian with at least a knife.
Or just a rusty
And judging,
pipe.
yeah, and this is a hive world, so only about 1 million people die daily. It's fine.
Hey, Lamau.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
dead
fairly
corpse
common,
is okay.
you know?
So,
Yeah, it's fine. So, once you get inside of this dome, the freezing cold temperatures and scaling winds that have been blowing you apart, more or less, stop as you've gone inside of a giant fucking dome. And you make your way through the boring bureaucracy of the enforcers, as you basically show the same data slate repetitively as they're asking, like, who are you? What do you want? And eventually you're through all of that crap. And you're basically stood on a fairly high up platform. You can see you definitely weren't on the surface layer. You're roughly in the middle section of the hive, for those among you who are from a hive world.
Mhm.
You appear to be on the east side of this hive city. And yeah, this is where shit starts getting a bit difficult to explain. Effectively, around you, all you can see is massive spires that keep going up towards the top of the dome. In the very center of the dome, at the very top, you can see what you can only describe as like a massive ball of artificial light that seems to be acting as the sun for these people. As you can't see the sun, it's perpetually dark outside. And it seems the architecture of this place is that the further away from the light is, the bigger the buildings are, and that the only buildings nearby are what Arius, you can probably assume, are like grand cathedrals that only the noble, the wealthy, and the very, very popular can go to.
Give a warm smile upon these grand institutions of imperial faith.
Yeah.
Well-
From what you know of this planet and from what the data you've been given, the people worship this giant sort of a globe, and they treat the sun as if it was the emperor, so it's a very solar religion. It's quite common.
Yeah, that's very common permutation of
normal.
imperial faith.
Yeah.
Well, I suggest that the first thing we do is try and find some lodgings somewhere discreet.
Who were we talked to about this? Fuck, I can't remember the name. The Ministorum.
Interrogator?
What? No. I was gonna say, when did the Ministorum offer us lodging since we're here from from Terra or something like that?
We don't
Like, we're
have
from the
anyone
Adeptus
from the
Terra.
Ministorum with us, though, right?
None of you are adepts, no. You're gonna have to go and find your own accommodation somewhere.
Oh,
Middle Hive.
yep. I say that middle hive.
Yeah, somewhere
Middle
discreet
Hive is-
in the middle hive.
No one
That's
go
what
down.
Arius suggested.
Middle Hive is typically a bit more expensive, but with any luck,
Yeah.
if you pulled your money together, you'd be able to at least rent a room for a short period of time.
As you guys are all piping up Middle Hive, I shake my head no, and I say we're heading to the Underhive.
Excuse me?
Do you know what's
That's
down
order.
there?
According to this, I pull the my data slate out and I shake it at him. I am very aware of the Underhive.
Are you also aware it is a wretched hive of scum and villainy in which we would not survive more than a week?
We sing.
According to this document here, I'm very adept at it.
According to this... Okay, I am done
That
with this. You are
possibly
no longer going to
false
proclaim
document?
that you know everything just because this damnable document says so.
I draw on him.
I step in the middle. Now we're not killing each other. We've been knowing each other for a month, or like 2
Why
weeks.
do you draw your weapon on me? I am simply criticizing you. You madman.
You're also not the only
Insubordination.
people on the spire.
Yeah,
There are people visibly like, what's going on here?
an RBT is standing in the middle of a tech priest and a cleric.
Yeah, they see you and assume, oh, it's just a public dispute. I'm sure that the arbitrator will handle it.
I mean,
It's quite obvious they're making excuses to themselves as to why they're running the hell away from you guys.
Yeah,
we're in a hive city. People kill each other every day.
Arius is looking
Yeah,
at Radius.
yeah,
with
but
a
do you
look
still
of-
This
wanna-
is the mid-hive. Deaths are slightly less common.
And do you really want to hang around a gunfight?
This is also where the majority of Arbites are, is the mid-hive.
yeah. I'm
It's
pretty
the
sure.
only place where a society actually exists.
Could I get lodging like someone with the Arbites? Technically, can I do that?
Probably not.
Technically,
We'd be under too much watch.
you
We
could,
need
but
somewhere
it would take a
discreet.
while.
Oh yeah.
We need somewhere discreet for what we're going to do.
When the
We
Arbites
don't-
steps in front of me, I'm gonna see the logic that apparently my position of leadership is more of a figment of the group. So I'm gonna holster my weapon and ask for ideas as to how we're gonna lodge.
we can go to
I
the
said.
lower hive or the middle hive. Middle hive is expensive, but a bit safer. Lower hive, well, we all have guns, so we gotta sleep with those.
Well,
I'm
I would
heading to the
suggest
low hive. Anyone who has the balls to come with me can follow.
fine, get yourself killed as if I would care.
Okay.
Now,
And
I would suggest that we pool our funds together.
as soon
and
as
get
I said
somewhere
that, I actually
discreet.
headed off towards the lower hive.
Wait, lower
No.
hive or under hive?
Lower hive, under hive, same fucking thing.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm heading to the bottom of the low.
Yeah. Personally, I would suggest that we pool our funds together and rent out a room somewhere discreet in the middle hive, so we won't be hounded by whoever we're going to be pursuing while we're here.
Yes.
He's speaking in hushed tones, so people around us don't hear.
Wait, can I add to my data slate? Can I type on it?
You have a journal.
Then
Is
I
this
can-
the same
handouts.
journal for all of us, or
Yep, all of you can see a journal that has contacts, notes, and party loot in brackets optional. It's editable by all of you. However, Roll20 is a bit of a bitch and will only allow one of you to edit it at a time because Roll20 is an arse.
Well, then I guess
bear in
we're...
mind that
It's usually good to have a dedicated note taker who's just constantly like in the journal, just writing everything down.
we won't be the
I've
note
been
taker.
jotting notes as we go. It's not as extensive as I would hope, but I've got a little bit written down.
Okay.
Yeah, and the journal allows you all to see the same notes, so anything that is common knowledge amongst all of you should be written there, whereas if you want to keep something secret from the other acolytes, then personal notes, you probably write them in your bios, if anything, of your character sheets,
Okay.
as only you can see your character sheet. Oh, and me, obviously.
Yeah, but you're Zeech, so...
Yeah, I'm also Korn, Slanesh, Nurgle, and several other alien deities.
You're not...
And the good gods.
Are you both Gork and Mork?
I'm also
He's-
the Emperor of Mankind. Now, you should probably do as I say.
Okay.
He's
No.
all good
Heresy.
and bad gods.
Anyway...
I am the universe. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the topic at hand
So, yeah.
of where
So
the
what
hell
are we
you should
going
go
to
and
do
sleep.
about him just wandering off? Are we just going to let him go and get himself killed?
Yeah, I'm like way the fuck on, so I can't hear anybody right now.
quite honestly, I'm inclined to allow him to do so. He would simply be trouble. If you're not seeing the way he's been acting so far, he pulled a gun on me for criticizing his decision.
pulled
He's
a gun
hardly
on
a
you-
stable element of the Inquisitorial team.
You both put a gun at each other at least 4 times within the last 3 days.
I will admit that I never pointed my weapon at him,
True.
and I believed him at the time to be a heretic.
True.
I was proven wrong and apologized. He pulled his gun on me for criticizing his choice of lodgings.
Yes. No. Parts of me says I should go and bring him back. The other part of me says, let's give it 2 days and maybe he'll come back. And again, he's not a dog, so...
Well, I'd assume he's not
How will we know where to
completely
find
stupid.
this?
He'll come back.
Good point. I'll be at the local Arbite office. I need ask around for there. Well, head there later. I'll go find the tech priest, and then I walk off where I last saw him.
Okay, so the rest of us, stop right there, Arbites.
Yes.
Let's figure out where we're going to stay first. We'll find a room, then we'll go and find the tech priest,
Okay.
so we know where to go back to. Let's find somewhere discreet, maybe a inn of some description.
Well,
I'm just looking up the prices for places like this now. What page would this be on?
Wait. You're you remember the priesthood? You could just go stay at one of the local churches. The rest of us, yeah, we could go to an inn or something.
If we stayed at one of the local churches, we run the risk of running into the redemptionists.
Good point.
So if we get in with them, we can just direct them at the targets.
If needed.
You cannot convince a redemptionist of anything they don't want to be convinced of. Trust me.
We just
I've
need to
dealt with them
point
before.
them at the heretics.
To
Surely
them,
they want
everyone's
to
a
kill.
heretic.
Exactly.
Oh yes, but some must be more heretical than others.
Nope, everyone. Everyone the same level of heresy. Even they are. They kill themselves constantly.
Well, we'll see later.
Okay. So I guess we go find a place to stay at with the tech priest going to what I pray is not the Underhive. Cause we send Arbites down there to clear up space for new Arbites.
Services, 152.
152?
No, he's looking.
Services. Okay, so
Probably gonna go
accommodations.
for mid-grade.
Low grade, mid grade, so that would be 20 a day. We could probably pull together a week pretty easily amongst all of us.
Bear in mind that's just an example. The people of this world could end up saying something like, "No, pay us more." Just
Okay,
because fuck
let's,
you.
We'll find like a regular old inn of some description or just a place to lodge.
We'll look around a bit.
Yeah. So. Yeah, let's actually follow where the tech priest is going for a little bit, and then we'll come back to you guys finding some lodging.
Okay, this is gonna be terrifying.
Let's see what trouble we can get into.
You're gonna put him through the ringer.
So, Radius, where are you heading? You're not exactly from a hive world, so this is slightly confusing as to where you're supposed to be going, but I'm sure you can figure it out.
Alex, do I have information on the Dragon Cult or Cult Mechanicus in my highly redacted PDF? Because
You know
I'm
the
just-
Cult Mechanicus, as the Lord's Dragon is literally the Inquisition for the Mechanicus, so you know fuck all about them.
not the Lord Dragon, the Dragon Cult. That's
Yeah, they're literally the same thing, dude. You know fuck all about them.
Oh shit!
You
Other-
don't know they exist.
You don't even know
They're a
what
myth.
a
The
dragon
tattoo on my
is.
body.
What'd you say, Zoe?
I said that I have a Dragon Cult tattoo. I told you
Yeah,
my
you
backstory.
have a tattoo that kind of looks cool. You don't really know what it is.
So there's no mention of that in my documents?
Nope.
Then I'm going to look for the most Underhive Mechanicus outpost I can find.
There,
So you're going to actively make your way to the Underhive and then look for the Mechanicus section.
is there even
Oh.
a Mechanicus in the other hive? Most of the time they had their own.
There probably was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. And then it got eaten by mutants and everything else down there.
Yeah.
And most
Right,
So I'm
likely-
gonna first look to see if there's Mechanicus posting.
Within the Underhive. Hmm.
Your internal filter, you're gonna be.
Roll me your search. It's already low enough as it is, so I'm not gonna chuck any more modifiers on it.
Yeah, search untrained. So
Yeah.
roll that.
Do you have control of your character sheet, or do you still need me to do it?
I mean, I could plug in my keyboard if you wanted.
Nah, that seems. I'll just do it for you.
Yeah.
Save trouble. Yeah, no, you unless you want to spend a fate point, you don't you're not able to find it.
Okay. So after that, I look for bars.
Now that is something that does not require a test, as in the Underhive, every other place or building is a bar of some kind. So yeah, you just walk up to any old bar, I'm assuming, unless you want to find one
Well-
that doesn't look like you're probably going to get stabbed.
You're a tech
No,
priest
I
in
wa-
the
I want
Underhive.
to-
You're 5 minutes
I
away from
rolled
getting
for
robbed.
locate. I wanted to know what bars are around me.
Yeah. The bars around you, the majority of them have some kind of loud noises coming from them.
I have, like-
such
can I
as
see, like-
shouting and singing.
Names on them, or are they all just like undescribed buildings?
They're mostly undescribed buildings. It seems most people don't really care for names. They're literally just like, I'll meet you at the bar I found you in. And they're like, okay.
Every fourth bar has a dead body hanging out one window.
Fourth. You must be thinking of some upper hive. Every bar has either someone who's dead, passed out, or possibly being mugged. Pretty much all around you, all you see is about 157.6 million crimes going on.
I'm gonna walk to the closest one that has someone being mugged, and I'm gonna walk right in.
Alright, so you walk about 2 feet in front of you, and yeah, there you go.
Oh my god.
You're now in a bar where outside someone is being mugged.
This is gonna end so. Oh god. I'll get ready to make the new character. This may end badly.
I'm gonna go to the bar and just raise one finger in the air.
No one
signaling
knows.
that I want to drink. No one answers?
Not initially, no. Most people just seem to be ignoring you.
Alright, I'm gonna just put my hands down and wait.
You get the impression everyone thinks you're a servitor. Some people do actually walk up to you and say, "Yeah, I'd like a pint of Amasak," and then they look at you and go, "Oh, okay," and then they briefly walk off very awkwardly.
I'm just gonna keep on waiting.
200 years later.
So,
Well, like, we only have to wait one night.
quite a bit later, a bartender finally gets to you and goes, "Are you malfunctioning or something?"
Actually, I was wondering if you knew about any lodging I could find down here.
The servitor. Oh, tech priest. Lodgings. Well, I guess you could rent the back room. And he like sort of just stares blankly, trying to think for a moment, like, how do I get away without getting killed? And then like he has that light bulb idea. I know, I can scam the shit out of him. And he says, yeah, if you pay me about 75 thrones, I'll let you have the back room.
I consult my data slate for a moment, and I tell him that I simply don't have 75 thrones on me. All I have is 25. Would that do?
You got a pretty nice looking las carbine right there.
Oh my.
I kind of position my hand inside of my coat. Yeah, I'm not really willing to part with that.
Well, I'm not willing to part with my room. I'm willing to trade for it, though.
Well, I have 25 gilts.
And I'm offering you the room for 75, and if my math works well, a las carbine is worth about 75.
I think the last carbine's worth a little bit more. Can I fellowship test him?
You can attempt to barter him to make him not want to, have your las carbine.
I'm gonna... Well, I wanted to barter him to see if we could meet in between. At about
He takes your las
50
pistol
gilts.
instead.
Say what?
Yeah, you barter with him and meet in between. He takes your las pistol and 20 throne. No, but yeah, you can roll barter.
Yeah, I'll roll barter.
Oh god. You get negative 1.4.
Now that's his search.
No, I know. I'm still just looking at like. You roll.
Alex, you want to roll that barter?
Yeah, you fail so
shit.
horribly.
He
He
now.
looks at you. He looks at you and goes, "All right. Maybe I made a mistake. If you give me everything you own, I'll let you maybe sleep outside my bar."
I don't answer him and I walk out.
You hear him mumble under his breath, "Asshole."
I need to do a thing real quick.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, mate.
I'm now very concerned for our tech priest.
You should be, because Mr. Tech Priest, as you're leaving the bar, you can see the bartender looking at you and talking to someone who doesn't look very friendly. They seem to be wearing a sort of leather jacket that has those stereotypical sort of like metallic spikes. The guy has really fucked up looking hair, as if he's looking like a fucking 1970s gangster.
We have those stills.
Yeah, it's Warhammer. And
Oh, yeah, dude.
the man is like turned over his head, like turned and looking over his shoulder, is watching you exit the bar. And then the door closes behind you, and then, yeah. You're now in the street again. The person who was being mugged, it seems they met their end this day and died. Of a
I mean-
tragic gun wound to the face.
I'm a tech priest, so do I know how much I fucked up?
Well,
I
you're
don't
still,
know. Do you?
As a tech
Your
priest,
character
you
fan?
thought that went well.
Well, he's still fairly human.
Yeah, no, like.
Yeah,
we
but he's
were
also a
saying that I don't
mind.
really
He's
have
also a mind
augments.
cleansed person, which has left several after effects on his brain.
Oh god,
Sam,
no.
you really should know if your character knows if he's fucked up or not. Like, that's role
Well,
playing.
me and Alex have
entirely.
been talking about like the augmetics and stuff, so I don't really know how fucking tech priest I am. It's kind of confusing.
You're tech priest enough to know enough about social interaction to know that that guy was probably talking about you, and that if you don't get the fuck out of here, you're probably going to end up dead.
All right, I'm going to walk at a
With
double
the-
time. I'm going to walk at a double time pace, not so like fast that I'm quite jogging, but I'm walking quickly, and I'm going to look for somewhere that I can hide. I should roll perception.
Yeah, make an awareness test, or I'll roll an awareness test for you to see if you can spot anything you can hide behind.
Or in, or on.
Ideally, I'm looking for a dumpster.
Yeah, no.
How are you
Well,
rolling negatives?
Bear in mind he has no basic skills, and that he needs about 15 or under to pass on a D100.
So since I didn't see anything I can hide in, I'm still pretty human here. So I'm fucking like pretty panicked right now. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you're-
break
Yeah.
into a dead sprint. In the opposite direction that I came from because I'm a fucking idiot. And I'm gonna start trying to look for lifts out of the underhive because I'm scared now.
Yeah. So
Smart
as
enough
you
to know that I
were-
should be scared.
As you're sprinting through, yeah, effectively you start getting a bit out of breath as you just can't find any elevators, and it's not an empty street. You are running by people, so you're getting quite a few hay watchets, and
No, not running, just jogging.
yeah, even jogging. It's a hive world. It's crowded as
Ev-
fuck.
Yeah.
Let's put it, unless you were born on a hive world, you don't know how to
It's
move through a
difficult
crowd.
terrain.
For everyone
Yeah.
that wasn't born on a hive world.
Well, I was born in a Forge world, so I'm
Yeah,
sure I
that's
know how to.
no, that is
Yeah, the
nowhere
difference
near.
is that a Forge world, everyone is usually going in the same direction to complete a similar task. A Hive world, in the Underhive, everyone's going to do something similar, as in it involves someone dying, someone getting high, or someone being kidnapped.
It's pretty
Yeah,
much
so
like a
I'm not-
bag
Everyone
of
is going in a
so
completely
terribly.
random direction, so it's much more confusing for you because you're used to being surrounded by other tech priests, servitors, reclamators, whatever, all going in
Actually-
the same direction to complete a certain task, whereas all
I
of these people are unorganized, walking all over the place. It's like walking through the middle of a high street.
Alex, we're still assuming that my character, like, he doesn't remember that stuff, though. Like,
No, but he certainly knows that he was born on a Forge world and the basics of a Forge world.
But yeah, he's still disoriented from his mind.
It's disorientating, confusing, and you've probably passed the same shop about 6 times.
Yeah.
roll run to see which way you go.
Oh no, I ran the opposite direction of where I came from before I went into the bar.
Yeah, but chances are you probably have been turned around a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, there's too many people for the people in the bar to probably spot you, despite being a tech priest and fairly obvious, since you're the tallest person probably in the hive. But it's you didn't. If you are being followed, you don't know.
How tall is he?
He's 6'2" on a planet where the average height is 5'8".
Oh. So I'm
He's
slightly
fairly
taller than
fucking
everyone
obvious.
And I'm in a red ass robe.
And you're in a red robe, and you're making a lot of beeping
Ding,
and buzzing
ding,
noises
ding,
as you go by.
Oh no, I don't make beeping or buzzing. All I have is the gas mask and
The
a
key
few
word you
other
missed from that sentence was yet. Anyway.
Yeah, yet.
Yeah. So, you may have lost one set of thugs and assholes, however you're in the Underhive. Everyone is plotting at some point to mug you.
Yeah, you're like a nice car in a bad neighborhood.
You're gonna
Pretty
wake
much,
up
yeah.
in 5 minutes with just your brain, your head, and nothing else.
Yeah. You could quite literally wake up and be a nugget. But yeah, so you're trying to figure out where to go, trying to figure out where you can basically get out of this mess you've put yourself in.
Panically, I'm gonna consult my data slate, like confused about why it says that I've dealt with underhives well in my past. Flipping through it, trying to figure out
Hold on.
how the fuck I dealt
Now,
with this.
what are the chances somebody has actually managed to swipe that thing already?
Oh yeah, let's roll on that.
Oh, fuck.
Probably fairly high, yeah.
Roll it.
So I don't know what I'd be rolling. I guess I'd be rolling.
Sleight of
Yeah.
hand or something. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I'm gonna.
Perception to see if I noticed that somebody tried to reach for my slate.
Yeah, that does make sense. Okay. Excuse me.
At the same time, I would give you a bonus, but I'm not the GM, of course. But you're always clutching it, ain't you? Always clutching it,
I
checking
keep
it.
putting it in and out
Yeah.
of a pocket hidden inside of my coat. So people see me putting it
Yeah,
in and
you're
out of the
also-
coat.
Yeah,
You're also
someone has
regularly
probably
checking
picked
it.
up a certain code. No one is regularly checking, but he's also not aware of anyone following him. Let's see if you can notice anyone trying to steal it from you. Nope,
I
you're blissfully
assumed
unaware.
after that interaction in the bar that I was paranoid about people tracking me down. I thought we said that I was afraid about that.
Yeah, but you're not aware of anyone following you. You're just paranoid about it. You haven't physically seen someone going,
Yeah.
that person over there in the yellow jacket is following me.
Yeah.
It's more, all of these people around me are probably going to kill me within the next 5 minutes if I don't fucking flee. Continuing on though, you're completely unaware of anyone reaching in or out of your pocket. You probably have nothing left. Although, that's just me being a jokester.
So I haven't been robbed yet?
Maybe.
You might have been. I need to. Fuck it. I'll just roll it normally rather than using the GR. Yep, you've been robbed. Someone took your data slate.
Oh!
So I reached for my data slate.
Your data slate,
I find
half of
nothing
your
in my
phone
pocket.
geld.
I pat down all of my pockets, and I just have a look of panic on my face for a moment as I realize, I don't know who I am, and the myth of who I am was just robbed from me.
Yeah.
So
Your
now
data
I
slate's
have.
gone. Your data slate's gone. All your money's gone, and no, yeah, that's probably all they would take. Any
that's
data
how-
slate you had, and your money is gone.
I thought we were just rolling on the data slate. Shit.
Yeah, everything. This is why you listen to the
Yeah.
fucking Arbite.
If the roll was
Wait-
higher
wait a
and
minute.
closer to 100, then it would have been less stuff. But because it was a natural 10, yeah, they almost took all of your gear. If I'd rolled a natural 1, you'd be running through the streets totally butt naked. As this,
No,
these
you won't be.
people have stolen
That's still
all
a
of your
10
clothes.
though. So let's say that I
you'll get to
didn't
know what
notice them
Cybermantle
pull
looks
the
like.
last carbine off of my shoulder, because you'd
That's
see
literally
that.
That's literally what I'm telling you, my dude. Is that you still have your weaponry, you just don't have your actual important data. And
Okay.
knowledge is
Well,
power
you-
to you.
You said all of
Dude.
my shit, so I assumed that I was about to beat weapons.
No, all of your important shit, everything that mattered most to you is gone. But your weapons are still there. They're not. I would say they're not assholes, but you're surrounded by everyone who is an asshole.
Roll a D100 to see if you still have ammunition. Fucking hell.
No, he probably still has ammo. The ammo is in the
Um,
gun, after all.
They can
Alex,
steal the
roll
gun.
a
I've done it,
50-50
follow.
intelligence check for me.
Sure. We'll roll your intelligence. Why
Oh
not?
gosh.
Whatever you wanted, you just about failed.
Because I was about to drop my robes and walk off as a discreet person, but yeah, no, he decides to keep his robes on him because he didn't realize that he could be anyone without it.
Do you have
Fucking
any
idiot.
augmentations?
Just
All of
the
the
face
basic
mask, the back harness, and an MIU, right?
No, you have all of the basic Mechanicus implants.
Yeah, I thought
Uh,
MIU
with-
They was.
included.
If it's an
No, an
underhide,
MIU is an advanced piece of gear. You have an electrograph, elect-2 inductors, a respirator unit, a cyber mantle, a potentia coil, and cranial circuitry.
Does he
An
know by
MIU
name?
is an implant you buy that allows you to directly
I
commune with
confused cranial circuitry with an MIU.
You just have a load of tubes and wires coming out of the back of your face.
So I wasn't smart enough to know to take my robes off. I'm gonna keep trying to find my way out of the lower hive. Because I fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up pretty hard. So yeah, as you're trying to find your way out, I'm actually gonna roll another awareness for you. This time slightly higher. Well, with some modifiers basically. As they are pretty difficult to miss. Yeah, you noticed. Didn't even need the plus 20. So as you're walking along, you notice another pair of people wearing the similar red robes to you. Whether they're tech priests or not is an entirely different debate, but you recognize them as at least something that serves the Omnissiah as well. Otherwise known as a reclamator.
I'm gonna bow and make the sign of the cog at them.
Oh, reclamators are below you. Very below you. They're the scum of the Mechanicus, basically.
When
They're
do I-
You want
scavengers.
to beat Mechanicus.
Do I even know about that though?
Yes.
You'll have some.
You forget. It's only your bad shit and inquisitorial knowledge that's been censored.
It's not
Everything
like
about
I'm not
being
like
a tech
taking a
priest
knee or
is still
anything.
there.
It's a namaste bow. It's the same bow I do for everything. Like I lower my head slightly.
Yeah, they just sort of give you a urate head gesture, which is a gentle up nod, basically.
I fall into the middle of their pack and say nothing.
The two of them just sort of look at each other and then look at you, and look at each other again, and then look at you, and then one of them says, "Can we help you with something?"
I need shelter immediately.
Well, don't we all?
I'm being pursued. Can you assist?
The two of them are like look around. Let's see if either of them notice anything. Yep, they look around and like, you're not being followed by anyone.
Do you have lodging?
Like,
They look at each other for a moment and then back at you and say, "We have somewhere where we sleep, but I wouldn't call it a lodging."
I still outrank them, right?
Oh yeah, you're a tech priest. These guys are wannabes.
Please assist me to your quarters.
Okay, well, yeah. And the two of them then like gesture for you to follow them.
I try to keep them both on my left and right as I stand in between them. I've already been robbed down here. I know how fucked up it is.
Yeah. They lead you basically upper level. You're not quite in the mid hive, but you're sort of at least not as low as you were.
Is he now in the low hive rather than under hive?
He's on the level where you're still likely to get stabbed, but you probably won't get. The enforcers might give a shit. Basically.
Maybe.
You'll still probably get stabbed and attacked by someone. It's just there's a 50-50 chance an enforcer will be near enough to bother to care.
Alex,
actually
can we go
attempt to
over
help
how badly robbed I was?
Yeah, you lost all of your money and the data slate containing your past, basically.
Okay, so just the guilt and the dues. Like, all right.
Yeah, these people they need money so they can buy more drugs and get high.
And was that one data slate or the other one that I was handed by the Inquisition?
You lost your personal data slate. The one that has your reason for being on the fucking planet in the first place is still there.
That one was
Oh, that's
stapled to your
beautiful.
chest.
Okay.
Even if they did get that one, it's heavily encrypted.
All right, go on.
Yeah. So the two of them lead you to this small shack, basically, and they gesture for you to go inside. And before you go inside, sudden jump cut to the other four members of the party, since we haven't done anything with them in a little bit.
Rolling up to what I assume is a reasonably nice hotel.
Yes. Trying to find a reasonably nice hotel.
Somewhere that's not too expensive, you know.
Yeah. The best place you can find seems to be offering hotel rooms for two people at 12 florins a night.
Reasonable. Ask if they have a room for 5, like any rooms like that, or is it just rooms for 2?
They have rooms. They only have rooms for 2, so you'd have to buy 3 rooms.
No, hold on. The tech priest decided to do his own thing, so there's only 4 of us.
An astute observation, guardsman. I like you already. Now, alright, so that's the 24 thrones a night. Let's pay for a week up front.
Wait, didn't you lose all your money?
That was
He's
the
not-
techie.
Oh.
Now, I could cover this on my own, but I would like it if we all pitched in.
I do. I chip in some thrones.
Yeah.
So we'd each have to. So 1 second. That's 168. Number 4.
42.
That is 42. Each of us will put in 42 thrones. That reasonable for everyone? If
Sure.
anybody can't afford it, I'll put in a little bit more.
I'll put in 42 thrones.
I'll put in 42.
I'll put in 42.
Very good. Well, we'll be staying the week in these 2 rooms. Oh, and by the way, I'd say to like the hotel guy, I slide him an additional 16 thrones. No need for it to put us down in the ledgers, my friend. No
He
one
gives
need
you a
that way.
wink.
Yeah, slide him an additional 16 thrones. Like, no need to put us down.
You were never here.
Normal
Renovating the
smile.
rooms.
Quite.
Fair enough.
We go upstairs.
The accommodation is suitable. It's certainly not a bug-infested cot, but it's not exactly the quarters of someone in the nobility.
It's
But
nice. It's an alright room.
yeah,
It's a space premier in.
it's a hell of a lot better than where the tech priest is going to be staying for the next 2 days.
Pit somewhere.
Yeah, he's literally staying in a shack shared by 2 people.
And
Where
You
do
can
you
hear
guys
the
have your own
collective. The techie can hear the collective way of the group from across the hive.
I
Yeah.
Oh god. This...
Yeah, so now you've got your rooms set up for the next 7 days.
That's why your tech priest should never be your fucking team leader.
See, the priest is being the useful man. Anyways, now, on to business.
Yeah.
We're all meeting in one of the rooms, keeping ourselves in hushed tones, I guess. Now, comrades.
Yeah.
On to business. First, I think that we should... Well, should we find the tech... I suppose we should... We should find the tech priest first. He'll probably be making a ruckus down in the underhives, and I'm used to navigating around hives, so...
If he's in the underhive, he's probably just a head. Or was a head is now just an eyeball.
Certainly been robbed blind.
Yes.
Perhaps, but well, the interrogator would be on us if we went to look for him.
Well, he didn't seem to really care.
And besides,
if he
it
didn't die.
is most likely that suspicious activity would be happening in the Underhive. We
Still-
take this opportunity to investigate, ask for rumors.
I chuckle at that. It's the Underhive. Everything suspicious happens down there.
Come on, we're looking for witchcraft. I think it would be rather obvious if we saw what we're looking for.
Yeah, good point.
Anything you don't want to lose, leave it here.
Do I find, like, is it like a wooden place or is it all metal? For the place
It's
to
all
stay?
metal.
Can't find
Wood on
any-
this planet doesn't exist.
Good point, I forgot. There is no wood.
It's a heavy metal Premier Inn is what it is.
Can I find,
Pretty
like,
much.
loose panel or something I can hide my money in?
Mate, we all have microbeads.
Yeah, you do all have microbeads.
Yeah, but they won't. Yeah, we won't be able to contact him though.
No, you have a kilometer range, and that range is in this kind of location. It's kind of very distorted by the amount of plasteel.
It's pretty much we can talk to each other in a building, but once you start rounding
Yeah.
corners, we'd be deaf.
Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. As for panels, there are several drawers you could leave your money in. But if you really want a panel, I don't know, give me a -30 strength test to rip a panel out.
-30.
-30. You're literally ripping out a bit of metal in an attempt to put money in it.
Sure, I just kind of hide it in my bed.
There are
Alright.
drawers that you put it under your mattress. There you go.
Yeah, just.
Well, I have nothing that I need hide.
Do you have any thrones left? Any? I suggest you
Oh,
hide those.
of course, of course. He takes out his purse and stuffs it under his mattress.
I'll hide a chunk of my money here. And keep-
I hide the rest of my money here.
No, I take 5. No, I keep 5 gelts on me just in case. $5. And then well, if that's everything, I guess we head out then. I recommend we stay close and just keep your hands on anything that. Just keep an eye out.
Keep your hands on anything you don't want to lose.
I'm debating whether or not to inform the local Arbites about a lost tech priest in the Underhive, but
No, don't do anything like that. We don't want to alert too many people to our presence.
yeah.
Probably find it amusing.
As much as it might annoy you to know, with heresies like this involving witchcraft, I don't know, the Arbites might be involved in some way. I'm not sure. We must suspect everyone.
Okay, everyone's guilty until proven innocent. Got it. And I start walking out the door.
Proves nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Pretty sure that's a legitimate quote of Fyodor Karamazov.
It is.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Well, let's go looking for our wayward tech priest.
Indeed.
I'm shaking a can for Prometheus. Tech freeze! Tech freeze, come here!
Someone will definitely attempt to steal that can of Prometheum when you're not looking. But yeah,
Perception check to see if I smell it.
no, trust me. Yeah. So as you're wandering downwards in several vain attempts to find him, you do come across something rather holy, so to say. A relatively large crowd of people seems to be gathering up around this this sort of metal, like I want to say podium, but it's not a podium. It's more of a elevated place where sort of like a stage. Yeah, very small stage. And everyone seems to be gathering around to witness something. Are any of you gonna go and see what the commotion's about, or are you just gonna fuck it, doesn't concern us?
Wait here, let me go see what that is. And I go see what it is. I'm an Arbite, it's my job to look into this kind of stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
It's something good, or maybe it's something bad.
I'm not going to
depends on-
let them go without me. I'm not going to leave it. And that just leaves Arius, right? Well, I'm not going to leave him alone up by himself, so I'm going to drag him along as
Oh.
well.
There's me as well.
Yeah, but you're slowly blending in with the background. You probably didn't
Yes.
see you.
Yeah. I'm probably just shadowing the group.
Yeah. Someone's got to watch their back.
We faintly hear the sound of rubber on rubber. Squeak, 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 as someone falls behind us.
Exactly. But yeah, regardless, Amber, you're going to have a look at this. Yeah, when you say it's either good or bad, it really depends on how you feel about someone getting burned alive. What you see is a man wearing a very red robe, but not a Mechanicus robe, more of a sort of a
Redemptionist?
ecclesiarchy type thing. Yeah, redemptionist. I'm just trying to describe it without giving off the word. There appears to be 3 redemptionists stood on this little stage. There's also a man tied to a like wooden pole with other bits of like wood put around him. One redemptionist is just holding a lit flamethrower. The other one appears to be reading from a scroll. The other one's just standing guard, basically. And you catch the speech that this guy is reading off, and it goes, brothers and sisters, this man has committed sin. He has been given the curses of heresy and used them to his own ends. To manipulate us, curse us, all to make his life a little better than our own. He denies the Emperor's divine gift of life, and so he shall be punished. Do it. I commit him to the flame, where he shall be sent for punishment by the Emperor. And he turns and looks at the man who's now very obviously crying and looking absolutely shit scared.
Do I see any Arbites nearby?
Nope, they do
Redemptionist.
not want anything to do with this.
Redemptionist.
This is an extremely ecclesiarchal matter that's going on.
So I won't have any
Redemptionist.
powers over it?
Do it.
Hold
yeah,
on, Alex,
try
just
to
to be sure
intervene-
that's not me on that, right?
No, it's not you. Calm down.
Okay.
No, I'm just asking. It's
Yeah,
not, I won't have
Amber,
powers
you
on
have
it.
about as much power over this lot than a rat does. If anything, they're more likely to burn you for interfering. But yeah, you just see this redemptionist turn to this man that's been tied up, and he just says, "Die in shame, heretic." And then he just gives a nod. And the guy with the flamethrower then proceeds to burn this man alive, and he's emitting a ear-piercing screech that even the rest of the party, who are still quite a bit away, can even hear this man screaming as he's burning alive.
Arius was like, that way. Quickly.
I shake my head and leave.
Are we going towards the screaming? Oh, by the way, fun fact, the Redemptionists were the first faction in 40k to make the use of exterminator modules.
Oh.
One-shot flamers mounted to their chainswords.
The more you know.
If I'm walking back,
Yeah.
if I see the others coming towards, I'm like, no, back, go. We're not staying here.
Yeah, I want to say at least one of the other members of the party who isn't the tech priest probably at least sees the guy, or at least the light that's being emitted from the man being burnt alive.
And then I go looking for the...
Arius scowls. Redemptionists.
Father,
Yes,
forgive.
you're right. We have to leave now.
Yes.
It's good to see you again, Tech Priest.
We
Oh,
found
the
them.
tech priest.
Wait, what?
The tech priest is not here. He's still
Oh, shit,
several
okay.
layers lower.
Oh, okay.
This is just a little event that happened whilst you were looking for him.
Everyone who don't
Oh,
have
this
jaded,
was
roll
us. I
jaded.
thought this was the Tech Priest looking at this.
Nope, this is everyone else.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
The other, you guys are taking too long. I'm gonna go see what's going on. Haha. And then witnessed a man getting burnt alive, and immediately went, nope.
We need to leave here quickly.
I start suggesting everyone push. Go. Hand on my shotgun, ready. Not liking how this is going.
Time to get out of here.
And according to Alex, he said party members not included even heard it, but I figured I just rolled over in my bed.
You probably heard
No,
it.
I did explicitly say excluding the tech priest.
Oh, okay.
You're too high up, and there's too many other gunshots going on for you to notice.
To me, that would sound like just light birds chirping since I was like going on the gun hive world.
Yeah.
Gunmetal City. So, yeah.
But yeah, you then wander off away from that as quickly as humanly possible. Yeah.
Are other branch of the ecclesiarchy that crazy?
They are literally the craziest ecclesiarchies. Ecclesiarchs at level 5.
Damn, they are official ecclesiarch members then. Okay then.
They're from Necromunda, fam. They don't fuck around.
Ugh, don't talk about Necromunda. I don't even like the Arbites there. Let's go find our lost tech priest and make sure he's not ahead by now. Ugh.
Right.
Right. So you continue to make your way lower into the hive. At the point that you reach the hive level, radius, you've been with these two reclamators for a good, hour.
So I know how they're living by now?
Yeah, they're living in complete shit. Quite literally. However, one of them has voxed someone else saying, "Hey, we've got a tech priest. Can someone come pick him up?" And then they basically just said someone will be here in an hour or two to come and get you. So you're in quite capable hands, it seems.
Hopefully.
When they mentioned that to me, I just iterated to them that I'm just looking a place to sleep tonight.
And you're not staying with us. Believe me, we get enough shit as it is.
I kind of pout, and there's not really a thing I can do, and I already realized I'm not capable of living out on the streets. So I'm just going to wait there.
Yeah. So meanwhile, an hour in the future, the rest of the party makes their way down to the same hive level as you. Yeah, and as you're all looking around, you already have the immediate feeling of something probably threatening you, without even noticing it. Arias, Amber, and Deco, that immediate instinct and reaction, that wary trait you have, you're immediately aware of any threats within the first 10 feet. You're already being watched by about 100 different people, all armed to the teeth. Probably how can I mug these people? And
Do I have wary? Do I have wary or whatever the hell?
You're a hive welder, so you should have wary.
Oh, okay.
All hive welders have wary.
Deco, cover our rear. I'll take the lead.
Right.
Fair enough. You two are combatants.
So,
Arias will
Do I
keep his hand on his pistol.
Oh, I have my
do I need to
shotgun.
roll anything?
You can all roll an awareness test. At least the four of you. It seems we've forgotten Drake exists. unless Drake is in the middle somewhere.
So close.
What the
So
fuck?
close yet so far.
Any modifiers or not?
Nope. No one else
What's
got
up with
once, and even you.
0.5 thing
Came so
we get?
close, not so far.
Hey, Deco notices. So, Deco, aside from the scowling faces of several, what you can only assume are Underhive gangers, watching you, specifically Amber, as she's an arbitrator, and, these people, they, by default, don't like arbitrators.
Yeah, and I
Why did we bring her in her... Okay, that's my bad. I should have mentioned something earlier, but yeah, whatever. But going up, continue.
I mean, they're looking at you as well, because you're a guardsman, and They're especially looking at Arias because they're like, I want some of that cleric dick. I mean ass. Anyway. Whereas Drake, they all seem to be a bit nervous. In fact, it's kind of amazing how no one's tried to mug you, but considering who Drake is, they're probably giving you a wide berth purely because there's a fucking terrifying guy lurking in the shadows nearby. So,
Drake
count
is
your
our,
blessings, Drake exists.
Drake is our stalker. Yay.
Yes,
Yep.
he's the stalker who's putting the hopes of all the other stalkers in this place to rest. As no one's even going to dare attempt at this point.
Thank you, Drake. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Your existence is appreciated. And yeah. Yeah, the only other reason it could possibly be is that you're all armed to the teeth. But anyway. As you're walking around, yeah, a lot of people are watching you, but they're not actively doing anything to, figure you immensely to the point where you start popping caps and taking names. As you're walking through the streets, relentlessly hounding down on this tech priest, Deco, you don't quite see a tech priest, but you do see someone wearing similar robes to a tech priest, sat outside of a small sort of shack. He's looking around nervously and seems to be waiting for something.
I'll point this out to the rest of the group. That him?
I
No.
don't think so, although he
Seems a
looks
bit
to be
tiny.
Mechanicus.
Let's
We should ask him.
Yeah. So I guess we all head over.
Just by you lot moving in his general direction, he's like, his hive world genes are kicking in and he's instinctively watching you approach. Clearly he's got his hand on some kind of sidearm getting ready in case the lot of you are going to try and mug him.
I adjust it to the Arbite symbol. I guess, will it be on my chest or on my, like, where would it be at?
Imagine Judge Dredd.
Okay. I know.
So
what
probably on your right breast or left breastplate.
Yeah. So I adjust it to the Arbite symbol, so that we're not here to kill you.
If you're gesturing to the Arbite symbol, I'd assume you're here to kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arbites are basically the, space SWAT.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, if the Arbites are here, yeah, someone's probably going to die.
Okay. Well, I'm not
Yeah,
here to kill
Arius.
you.
Arius will present himself to the tech priest. Hail, tech priest.
I'm not a tech priest. Well,
Oh,
at least I'm
what?
not recognized as a tech priest.
Why are
Have
you
you
wearing
seen-
that outfit?
I was given it by the Adeptus Mechanicus, in case you need to know.
Ah, acolyte.
I'm not an acolyte. I'm simply a reclamator. Or scavenger, or nomad, as you people seem to be so fond of calling me.
Now,
Uninitiated.
hold on there. We're just looking for our friend. He's a tech priest. He's gotten lost in the lower levels. Have you seen him anywhere?
Let's see. He looks at you and says, we don't get many tech priests down here, I'm afraid.
Can I, like, incite him or something to see if he's hiding something?
It'd be scrutiny.
Okay.
I'd like +10. It's a little hard to read if someone of this caliber is lying, but still slightly easier.
God damn it.
No, you can't really tell. You're used to scrutinizing people, not half men, half machines. Or in this case, 3/4 human, 1/4 machine.
Yeah. So you don't know where our lost puppy-like tech priest is?
Well, most tech priests usually know where they're going before they come down here. usually request one of us to guide them somewhere, and we haven't had a new guide for a tech priest in a while. Although, and he like moves a bit of his robe to look at a chrono and says, I might have to cut this conversation short, as it would appear I am needed elsewhere.
But what?
Are you deaf as well as stupid? I need to tour a tech priest.
That's all the
And he-
convenient.
He looks up at you, Arias, and
Mind
says,
if we join you?
If he's your subordinate, I want to put a leash on your pet.
Now hold on, we've been perfectly respectful to you so far.
He bloody well hasn't. You bear in mind you're talking to a poor person who's basically who's not a tech priest, but like, you know.
A wannabe tech priest.
Well, they work for the Mechanicus, but they usually are the ones that go around scavenging parts from the underhives. Like, hey, I found this broken combi tool. Do you want to have it? I'll give it to you for free.
Please notice
Yeah,
me,
they're
Mechanicus
subclasses.
Senpai. Fine. Be on your way, Reclamator.
Well, if you do find our fellow tech priest, I give him the Radius's name. There's some throne gelts for you, if you can find them.
Yeah, sure. He just gets up and walks off. Bear in mind, well, yeah, no. he doesn't know Radius's name, he just knows he's a tech priest.
Oh, damn. Well, now someone
I'm
knows
gonna
Radius.
follow him.
Alright. Deco, you don't have the shadowing skill, so following him is going to be a bit hard. You also don't
Why?
have the tracking skill, so your following of him is going to be even harder.
Well,
You are
I
a
mean,
hive holder.
well, I mean, how hard is it to stay
Hard.
close to the guy? It's not like I'm trying to.
How hard is it to stay close to a guy in a crowd of 1,000 people? Fucking hard. As you know, you're a hive welder.
Okay, never mind.
This
Forget
is
it.
why it's a hive world.
Okay, never mind. Forget it.
Well, I see we have two options now. Keep looking down here, or assume he's dead and leave.
Fair enough.
So, dead or keep looking?
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Guys, I'd like to get to bed before like midnight because it's getting ridiculously late.
Call it here for now.
I thought we said we were doing 3 hours. So
We'll do
10 more
3 to
minutes.
4, and we're getting close to the 3-hour mark, so if people want to go on for, like, I don't know.
Another hour.
I don't mind
We can
having-
even go. Yeah, I reckon it's better to call it here.
Okay.
As
Yeah,
we're at a good. So to say.
we're at a good stopping point. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone. You survived your first session for now.
Well, most of us has.
You survived it, and you might just be lost. Is the only issue.
Yeah.
So
alive.
But we ain't, the techie is.
yeah,
I'm in good hands.
for now.
Hopefully.
Oh, God.
Oh, we got 2 hive worlders. How hard can it be for hive worlders to figure out a hive?
It's a big place.
Yeah.
They could keep the equivalent to one Earth inside of them. It's gonna be fucking hard.
Yeah. There's in this hive alone, considering it's one of the major hives on this planet, there's easily about 6-7 billion people living here. Yeah, hive worlds are a lot bigger than you thought they were.
Yeah.
I mean, Scintilla, your home world, has a population of 25 billion, so... Anyway, everyone gains 250 XP. I always post in the chat how much XP everyone gets from the session, just so we have a reminder in case someone's character sheet bugs out and doesn't...
Spicy XP.
Spicy XP. Typically, you get about 200 for showing up, since I'm nice.
Yeah, so the 50 would just...
Yeah.
We looked for someone.
I'll write out bombs and dispositions and the like later. Don't really have the time now.
Yeah. And then, yeah, as you said, if people want to start doing bonds, then yeah, I can think of XP rewards for it, as long as you tell me what your bond is and who it's with.
GM, my disposition, would you say that I've made a step towards atonement?
Possibly. You certainly upheld the Imperial Creed thus far.
How does that work? Is that get bonds and
If you keep by your disposition, then for that session, then you get an XP reward. Bonds, they encapsulate your general opinion towards another character, and if it changes in any way, then you get an XP. Both of you do.
Ah, okay.
At least that's how it's gone in all the campaigns I've played thus far.
Ah,
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
So, for
have to think
example,
on those.
if Deco for some reason doesn't trust an arbitrator, and then one session decides to trust the arbitrator, then both of them get XP for trusting them and proving they're trustworthy.
Okay.
Shit
Well,
like that.
he is an ex-ganger. Well, he hasn't made that public knowledge. So he doesn't really trust the arbitrator too much.
Okay, so you don't.
You're a
like
ganger.
me.
You probably don't trust anyone.
You don't even trust yourself.
And you're gang mates. But you don't have any gang mates. You lost all your friends.
They died.
They're back home.
Actually,
No,
he doesn't really trust it. He never really trusted his gang mates either.
Yeah, I figured as much. Anyway,
Yeah.
His initiation to the thing was getting jumped by several of them and having to fight his way out.
sounds pretty light.
That's how we do it in my D&D's play. We jump whenever someone new joins our group. We almost kill them every time.
Lovely. Either way,
Nice.
All right,
Yeah.
so end session.
end session, same time next week, every week until we die. Not really. Well, until the game ends.
Yes.
Right.
Until your characters die, probably. Because if you all get killed in the same session, then I don't know, game over.
Well, the tech freeze might be. I don't know. Fuck.
We'll
All
see.
right. Well,
I'm doing
see you
okay.
next week.
See you next
guys
week. I hope you all
See ya.
enjoyed.
Yeah,
It was
I
fun.
did.
Bye, my dudes.
That's it.
Adios.
Bye.